NCAA football today from the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum in Los Angeles, California. The Crimson Tide of Alabama rolling out of the South against the #1 team in the nation, the Trojans of the University of Southern California. This ABC Sports Exclusive is brought to you by Mutual of New York, money for the future. And by Tuborg Gold, the golden beer of Danish kings, now brewed in America and affordable to everyone. On the floor of the Los Angeles Coliseum on a very warm day, the University of Southern California Marching Band. Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem. The sound of music and college football echoing out of the massive old bowl in Los Angeles. Hello again, everybody. I'm Keith Jackson, and here we have Alabama and the University of Southern California. This will be their 5th meeting. Alabama having won 3 out of 4 games and ranked 8th in the nation. Southern California having won on 4 of their games so far this season, getting together here. Last time they played on the floor of this Coliseum, the Alabama Crimson Tide came away the victor. They're the record 3-1 for the Tide and 4-0 for USC. This is one of 2 major intersectional games today being played across the country, both of them to have an enormous national image impact. The other, of course, down in the Cotton Bowl in Dallas, Texas, between Texas and Oklahoma, and we'll keep you abreast of what's going on in that ball game. But when you have the chance to see #1, then you got to take it. And today we see #1, the Trojans, against a tough one from Alabama. Alabama in a moment.
I've been coming here to watch the boats ever since I can remember. I always wanted to sail on one. Never had time when I was working. Now I'm retired, collecting Social Security. Pays the rent, buys a few groceries. That's it. All those years making money, I never had time to travel. Now that I've got the time, there isn't enough money.
Some people get to retirement only to find very little waiting for them when they get there. We at Money can help. A Money representative can explain the advantages and limitations of the Pension Reform Act, then help you create a retirement plan that can provide money later on when you need it, and perhaps a tax deduction now when you can use it. Call us, because the decisions you make when you're young are the ones you'll have to live with when you're old. Mutual of New York. Money for the future.
As every football team approaches the middle of the season, you get down to a situation of team depth. How many good players do you have? Because by this time of the year, every team has lost some people to injuries. Injury, of course, very much a part of the story of any ball game. Johnny Davis and Tony Nathan, the big guys coming out of the wishbone for Alabama. Davis, the fullback, Nathan, the running back, and he is the side outside, while Davis is the hammer inside. Davis at 227 pounds, gets a little more room now. Bear Bryants has gone from exclusively the wishbone to some I formation. He's run for 381 yards this year, but Tony Nathan dragging a leg because of a deep thigh bruise and has not been able to break into the ground-gaining capacity that everybody anticipated. He, of all people, expected he would. Tony's only been able to run for 171 yards so far this year. That means that quarterback Jeff Rutledge has had to do a little more running of the football than he perhaps would like to, and that Coach Bear Bryant would like to have him do. He has carried the ball 45 times already this year, netting only 112 yards, and one of the reasons is the running quarterback, Jack Career, has been lost to leg surgery. But this man, Ozzie Newsome, number 82, a good an athlete as you'll find anywhere playing college football today, a 4-year starter, and he has become a big play man for Alabama. He plays tight end as well as wide receiver, and he's averaging 18 yards on 16 catches this year. Working with us today as our commentator and expert analyst, a man who has spent a lot of agonizing moments on the floor of this old Coliseum, as well as a lot of joyful moments, former head coach at Notre Dame, Ara Farsikian. Now, you've had a chance to do some studying of Bear Bryant's 1977 side. What do you think?
Well, I think I've got to sympathize with Bear on the loss of course, O'Rear. He was the running quarterback and Rutledge the passing quarterback, and he alternated both of those youngsters, and he's lost one of them. That makes it tough. In addition, Johnny Davis has really been the only healthy back that he has had, with Nathan nursing injuries as well as Donnie Foss. So it's been a problem to him. He also has had to rebuild completely the defensive line. And in talking to the Alabama coaches, they felt that if they'd gotten a little better defensive play at the end in the Nebraska game, they might have won that contest. So he's had some problems. But I remember when Alabama played the cross-time rival of the Trojans, UCLA, in the Liberty Bowl, and they were the underdogs in that football game, and they won. So don't count the Bear out of this game in spite of the fact that he's the underdog.
Amen. Remember the last time they played here in this Coliseum, Alabama came away with a 17-10 victory. A look at the Trojans in a moment.
This is famous Tuborg beer, the golden beer of Danish kings. Only centuries of the Danish brewer's art could achieve its noble character for lightness and flavor. Our Tuborg Gold is now brewed in America by appointment to the Royal Danish Court. So for about what you pay for the king of beers, you can have Tuborg Gold, the golden beer of Danish kings.
You're about to be welcomed to one of the best hotels in the world. The hotels with the best locations, near the things you need to be near. The hotels with the best system of standards for taking care of you. The hotels that take care of more travelers than anybody else. Holiday Inn welcomes you to some of the best hotels in the world.
When you talk about offensive football at the University of Southern California, you talk about the tailback. That is the glamour position in the way the game has been played here for some 15 years. There are 3 of them that you'll be seeing today. Number 12, Charles White. Number 22, Dwight Ford. And number 21, Lynn Kane. White, on the one hand, combines all of the facilities: traffic, outside, speed. And here you'll get a chance to see this young dancer. He's only a sophomore, and he's a local boy. Comes out of the San Fernando Valley. And he can do a lot of things for a football team, and had a marvelous freshman year, winding up with a brilliant performance in the Rose Bowl. Now, Dwight Ford, who is also from just down the road in the campus of USC, this year, having been able to make it through almost half of the season without injury, averaging 10 yards plus per carry. And he perhaps is the quickest, the breakaway threat of the 3. But then Lynn Kane, number 21, is big enough to play both tailback and fullback, averaging better than 7 yards per carry, and he perhaps runs in traffic better than the other 2. Now, Charles White, everybody who runs in this backfield is very aware of the legacy of the tailback position. Jim Lampley has this story about it.
For the past 15 years, the position of tailback at Southern Cal has been the most glamorous and consistently identifiable position in college football. A lot of the trophies in this room at the Southern Cal Athletic Department are here because of the play of Trojan tailbacks. People like Mike Garrett, who won the Heisman Trophy in 1965, O.J. Simpson, who won it in 1968, Clarence Davis, now of the Oakland Raiders, Anthony Davis, runner-up in the Heisman Trophy balloting, and Ricky Bell, who might have won the award had he not been injured throughout much of his senior season. Ironically, Bell's injuries and his frequent absences from the lineup set the stage for this year's incumbent, Charles White. As a freshman who gained over 800 yards last year, White already is off to the best career start of any Southern Cal tailback.
You know?
What about the Heisman Trophy? Garrett won one. O.J. won one.
Well, I feel if you're winning and your team is, you know, putting out all the effort and you guys are just winning, you know, the Heisman will come for itself, you know. Maybe not this year, maybe not next year, but, you know, if you keep winning, it's going to come.
What are your specific goals? What do you want to do before you leave Southern Cal?
Well, right now, I want to beat Alabama. You know, that's one thing right now, and win the national title.
Comments from Charles White, number 12, who'll start at tailback. There is a little splinter of a fellow who plays at wide receiver, 6'1", 163 pounds. His name is Randy Simron. Now, he's not all that big until the football is coming toward him. Then he gets very big. He has caught at least one pass in 28 consecutive games here at Southern California. He's caught 16 this year. He's averaging 22 yards per catch, and he shows remarkable concentration catching the football in a crowd. Now, let's talk about the Southern California offense for a moment and the simplicity of it, Ara Parsegan.
Well, I guess I'm qualified to express an opinion on the I formation because we looked at it an awful lot of times when I was coaching at Notre Dame. It is a few plays, but they demand and get continual execution. And the tailbacks that they've had here have been sensational. But the big story here is the offensive line of Southern California. I talked to Dave Levy, the assistant athletic director, yesterday, and he said this may be the best ever as far as the offensive line is concerned. They average 262 pounds, tackle to tackle, and the smallest man on the line is their center, Gary Bethel, 6'4", 250. Now, that's not a bad group to run behind. And defensively, if I might say this, they lost 7 starters off the defensive unit, and not 1 point has been scored on them in the first 4 ball games in the first half. And if you're wondering whether or not they can play against the wishbone, since 1971, they have faced 8 teams, and they have yielded 7.7 per game against wishbone teams. So they've been there before. They can play.
All it takes is people. Both teams have a lot of people. It's going to be fun to watch them square off this afternoon in Los Angeles.
Hey, look at that. It's a chainsaw with its case. Uh-oh, somebody left it. Probably taking a coffee break. It's a McCulloch Mac 140. Wow. It's got automatic oiling. That's slick. This is the chain brake safety feature. Yeah. It stops the chain in less than a tenth of a second. That's fast. And look at these teeth. They sharpen themselves with a press of a button. Mine don't.
The McCulloch Mac 140. You can't buy another chainsaw with all these features at any price.
That McCulloch's got just about everything. Yeah, but I bet it can't swim. Good point.
McCulloch. In the yellow pages, under saws.
My father was in a car accident while I was up at school. He'll be okay, but it'll be about a year before he can go back to work and support the family. So I'm going to work instead. We made such plans for college. But I guess there are some things that you just don't plan on.
Sometimes a man's disability can cripple his entire family. Talk to us at Money about your disability insurance needs. Mutual of New York. Money for the future.
As you look down on the Coliseum in Los Angeles, you can tell, I think, we look down from the Goodyear blimp, that it's a hazy, hot kind of a day. But the crowd, estimated 71,000 plus, beginning to fill up this old arena, and we're getting ready for the kickoff in today's ball game between Alabama and USC. This is Keith Jackson, along with Ara Parsegan and Bill Fleming, inviting you to stay tuned for ABC's exclusive telecast of this special kind of an intersectional football game. 2 citadels of the game, Alabama and USC.
Saturday, will the kids break fish out of the slammer?
Give me back my belt and hang myself.
Then Operation Petticoat. The captain caves in, and the nurses give him a little tender love and care. Right after fish.
Tonight on ABC.
NCAA football today from the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum in Los Angeles, California. The Crimson Tide of Alabama, 8th in the nation, against the Trojans of the University of Southern California, number 1 in the nation. This ABC Sports Exclusive is brought to you by all the new 1978 Chevrolets now at your Chevy dealers everywhere. By Weyerhaeuser, the tree growing company for lumber, plywood, paper packaging, and thousands of other products from wood. By the new Gillette Atra razor, the first razor with a head that pivots for the closeness with comfort impossible before. New Gillette Atra Leader, it's the impossible shave. And by General Electric Citizen Band Radio. GE, the name to buy in CB. And here comes the Tide rolling into the Coliseum. Quite the same kind of a sound you'd hear at Legion Field in Birmingham or at Denny Stadium in Tuscaloosa. The record for Alabama. You see, they opened with a decisive win over Ole Miss. Then they lost a thriller at Nebraska, one you saw here on ABC. Came back to beat Vanderbilt, and last weekend defeated Georgia 18-10. Alabama today on the road will be wearing the white uniforms, and their coach, of course, Paul Bear Bryant. Very hot day. I think down on the surface it's got to be close to 90 degrees.
It'll be a factor in today's game, but the one thing about Coach Bryant, for a number of years now, he has not hesitated to alternate units. He doesn't call them the second unit, but he'll put in his alternate unit, both offensively and defensively. And I think Southern California will have to do the same, play more players today because the heat is there. The wind is only about 12 miles per hour. Shouldn't be a major factor, but the temperature will.
USC now coming out of the tunnel and getting ready to make their move into the Coliseum. And the reaction of the crowd, their victories over Missouri, Oregon State. They blew away TCU and Washington State. They are ranked number 1. Playing in the Coliseum. What's it like, Arrow Precision?
Well, I didn't have much luck here, as you well know, and I feel intimidated anytime I come in here. I'm glad I'm sitting up here watching the game rather than being on the sideline because I didn't have much luck.
Other important games today, they will be documented by our colleague, Bill Fleming.
All right, thank you very much, and hello, everybody. There are some important games today, and let's take a quick look now at some of the results that we have so far. Some of these games have been concluded, but some have not. Dartmouth is leading Yale 3-0. That game now in the 4th quarter. Penn State having a struggle with Utah State. Penn State fell behind 7-0, but now the Nittany Lions are leading by the score of 16-7. Michigan has gone out in front of Michigan State after trailing 7-0. Michigan now leading 24-7 in the 3rd quarter. Kansas State had a lead of 3-0 over Nebraska, but now Nebraska has moved to a 10-3 lead. And Texas is leading Oklahoma in the Cotton Bowl 3-0 in the 1st quarter. At halftime today, we're going to be joining our colleague Al Michaels. We'll be bringing you the highlights of the first 3 quarters of that game. So be sure to stay with us all afternoon. It should be a great one of college football. Back for the kickoff of this one between USC and Alabama in just a moment.
Has Gillette made a breakthrough in shaving? Yes. A closer shave with more comfort? Yes. Then Gillette's done the impossible. Introducing Atra, the impossible shave. Atra, the first razor with a head that pivots to safely follow every contour of your face. This Atra face-hugging action keeps the twin blades at the perfect angle. You've never shaved this close with this much comfort.
Impossible.
New Gillette Atra, the impossible shave.
I have a confession to make. Last year, the abbot asked me to do an impossible job. Copy 500 sets of this manuscript. I did it, but I used the Xerox 9200. Now, to save paper, he wants it copied on both sides, and he wants it fast. This is going to take another miracle.
Where do you want it, Brother Dominic?
Right here!
The Xerox 9400 duplicator with automatic 2-sided copying. Will miracles never cease?
The 1977 World Series on ABC. Beginning Tuesday night, see all the color and excitement of this sports classic when ABC covers the action for the first time as the pennant winners clash head-to-head. The 1977 World Series on ABC.
This is meeting number 5 between the Southern California Trojans and the Alabama Crimson Tide. Alabama has won the toss, and the Tide will receive. Tony Nathan, 22, and Major Ogilvy, 42. They are the deep men. Nathan with a sore leg. Kicking off, Rob Kerr for the University of Southern California. The referee is Paul Kamansky. Here's the kickoff. It will go deep into the end zone and beyond the field of play as Nathan fields it, and Alabama will put the ball in play. 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They're playing on real grass, and here's the starting unit for the Tide. At quarterback, number 11, Jeff Rutledge, 22, Tony Nathan at halfback, Donnie Faust, number 44 at the other half, and Johnny Davis is the fullback with Ozzie Newsome, the split-in or wide receiver. Newsome will play also at a tight end position sometimes, but right now he comes wide right towards you at the bottom of your picture. From the 21st down for Alabama. USC has a 6-man front up there right now. Defensively, the ball is ridden off to the fullback, Johnny Davis, and he has 2 yards. So it'll be 2nd down and 8 for Alabama from the 22, and Alabama offers up front this offensive line. Dave Sadler at tackle, Lou Green at guard, Dwight Stevenson at center for the Tide. Bob Kreider, offensive guard, Jim Bunch, and he is a bunch, at tackle, and Rick Neal, number 8, the tight end. He'll be alternating quite a bit coming on and off the field. It is 2nd down. Call it 8 yards to go for the Tide out of the wishbone. And again, USC has a 6-man defensive front. It goes wide. And here is the sweep coming up to the left side with Lou Eichner having gone in at the halfback position. Eichner is a junior from Atmore, Alabama, and he's in instead of Faust at the moment. USC defensively, Walt Underwood, who grew up in Tuscaloosa. Rich Dimmler, middle guard. Myron Lapka, number 96. Then the linebackers, and this is a hefty bunch. Clay Matthews, Dennis Johnson, Gary Cobb, and Ed Gutierrez. In the secondary for USC, Ricky Odom, Carter Hartwig, Dennis Thurman, and Willie Crawford. And we have a man down on the field. Tony Nathan. Rob Kreider, looks to me like a couple of them. In fact, there are 2 of them. Nathan, who has been dragging a leg with a deep thigh bruise, coming off the field. And if they lose him, even the mere presence of Nathan does things to the defensive unit for the other team. But Kreider now, shaken up, is being helped to his feet, and the big guard will be coming off the field. So we'll have more from Los Angeles in a moment.
A herd of deer can seriously stunt the growth of young trees. When the trees are small, every bite cuts down on the raw material for the next century. A bite of lumber, a gulp of plywood, tomorrow's paper supply. Dr. Illo Gauditz, Weyerhaeuser scientist, and her research team have discovered a way to discourage the deer. It took 8 years of experimenting in the Weyerhaeuser outdoor cafeteria, and finally the answer came. An egg derivative. Dr. Gauditz found that deer hate eggs, poached, scrambled, or soft-boiled. Now she works with Weyerhaeuser foresters like Ed Baker. Together, they decide when a young forest might be in danger, and they take steps to protect the young seedlings. Then the deer move to older trees where their pruning doesn't really harm the trees. Result, a way to save wood resources without harming the Bambis of the world. Weyerhaeuser, the tree-growing company.
The Goodyear blimp, Columbia, based in Gardena, California, with Nick Nicolari at the controls, giving you that picture from Archie Griffin's camera. The video man up there with him is Hugo DiLeonardo. All right, 3rd down, and 4 yards to go for Alabama from the 26. And the ball is handed off to Faust, and Faust is stopped short of the 1st down. The defensive flow of Southern California. The linebacker coming across to get a hold of him. It was Lapka, the tackle, who held his position, and then Clay Matthews, number 60, the linebacker, came in to seal it just short of 1st down territory at the 30. And so Alabama now will have to kick it on 4th and 1. And dropping back for Southern California, number 22, Dwight Ford. The kick is away by Buddy Holt. Hits the ground. And a penalty flag is thrown as Ford went down. Lynn Kane also coming back there. And it was Kane who drifted under the ball. And looked like that Lynn might have been knocked down by one of the Alabama players as they came down the field.
It appeared that there was interference. They didn't have an opportunity at a fair catch or a free catch.
and you're entitled to the opportunity to catch the football. So as Lynn Kane came drifting from the center of the field under the ball, he was interfered with, and I don't imagine it took much of a bump for Lynn to fall down to emphasize the point that he had been interfered with. So it's a 41-yard kick. The referee, Paul Kamansky, defining it for you there. The umpire today is Charles Brown. Head linesman Sid Seaman. The line judge, Bob Caldwell. Johnny Grace, the field judge. John Barger is the back judge. Here's Southern California now. First offensive possession with Charles White and Mosi Tutupu lined up behind Rob Hurdle. And they give it to the first guy out of the I formation, the big Samoan, Mosi Tutupu. And he gains 4 yards. This is the way Southern California lines up in its backfield with Rob Hurdle at quarterback. He's a senior. Charles White, the deep man out of the I, the tailback, the man who just carried the ball to Tupu, and Cal Sweeney is the flanker with Randy Simron, the split end. USC has the ball at the Alabama 49-yard line. The gain from the just outside the 46 to the Alabama 49. So make it second down and just over 5 yards for USC. They have the fullback to Tupu flanked outside. They give it to Charles White, and White has a first down as he runs it down to the Alabama 43-yard line. There's a perfect example of this big USC forward wall. Now, this is the way they line up at front. Anthony Munoz is 280 pounds. Pat Howell is 255. Gary Bethel, 250. Brad Buddy, 250. And John Schubecker, 275. William Gay, 225. How'd you like to be racing off against that bunch all afternoon?
Oh, we talked about it.
Oh, first down, Southern California, Alabama, 43. Play coming around to the right side as Charles White takes it inside the 35. He's close to a first down. The tackle by David Hanna, number 74. So Charles White carries for what appears to be very close to a first down. Defensively, Alabama lines up with Wayne Hamilton, Marty Lyons, Terry Jones, David Hanna, and Danny Collins. The linebackers for the Tide, Barry Krause and Rich Wingo. Gilliland will also play a lot. Don McNeil, Mike Tucker, Murray Legg, and Mike Kramer, the defensive secondary. White is out, and Dwight Ford is in now. And you'll see a lot of different tailbacks before the day's over. White, Ford, and Lynn Kane. Hurdle gives to Ford. Ford's caught behind the line of scrimmage. A fine defensive play by number 95, Danny Collins. Collins, the man that got him by the feet and brought him down.
Keith, one of the interesting things that happened on the first play, giving the ball to Mosi Tutupu, was to break the scouting report, I'm sure, that they had on Southern California, the Alabama team, and quiet down the linebacker flow, because Tutupu only carried the ball 20 times in 4 games, not very often.
They were just short of their first down, that loss of about 1.5 yards. It'll be third down and 2 for Southern California at the Alabama 35. They split the backs in the Trojan backfield now. It's Tutupu, and it goes to Charles White. White behind Tutupu, gets a first down inside the 25 to the 24.
Boy, he's an exciting back. We saw a little bit of him last year. He made over 800 yards, but looking at him again this year for the first time, he's a super back.
He's carried 3 times. He has gained 27 today. Dwight Ford in for 1 play. White coming right back. And they loves to run behind that big fullback, Tutupu, who's a 225-pounder out of Honolulu. Out of the I formation. Wide to the right, it is Simron. And up in the slot position, it is Cal Sweeney. And Rob Hurdle gives to Charles White. And White hit after 1 yard from the 23, close to the 22-yard line. Dewey Mitchell, number 61. You're looking at John Robinson, the head football coach at USC. Mitchell, a 230-pound senior from Tampa, fought off the block and made the stop, just short of the 22.
And Dewey Mitchell saved a big gainer on that. He made a great play. If White had broken that tackle, he had a lot of daylight in front of him.
So it'll be second down and 9 at the Alabama 22 for Southern California, with Lynn Kane and Charles White in the backfield now. A little more speed there. Kane very quick, runs in traffic well. Hurdle will throw instead. Hums his pass out to Sweeney. Sweeney is inside the 15. He's knocked back. It'll be very close to a first down, perhaps a half a yard short, as Don McNeil came up to make the stop for Alabama, a sophomore out of McCulloch.
Alabama is doing a lot of change-up defensively. They're giving them a lot of different looks. And that's the first pass, of course, that Southern Cal has thrown. It was fairly well covered. But Alabama's trying to create a lot of defensive problems for the Trojans.
Southern Cal now with 3 tight ends. William Gay, Dan Burns, and Joe Shipp in for blocking on 3rd down and 1 from the Alabama 14. First quarter of play on a hot afternoon in Los Angeles. Give it to the tailback, White. Nothing there. I mean, dead nothing. Mike Kramer coming up over the top really sealed it. Down at the bottom of the stack, 95, Danny Collins, very much involved on the play. It will be 4th down for USC.
Good piece of defensive work. Alabama went to a split 6. There were 8 men up there, 6 of them on the line, and the linebackers fired on the inside. It was a perfect play for the offensive set that Trojan used.
32-yard field goal attempt. Frank Jordan, Jr. out of San Francisco. Kicking out of Mike Carey's hold. It is up. It is into the crowd. It is good. And so we have 8:39 to go in the first quarter of play. Southern California gets 3 points and leads the Tide 3-0.
You guys are experts on CB radios. I'm not. Give me one good reason to buy General Electric.
Our switchable automatic noise limiter, Howard. It reduces ignition noise.
Oh, thanks.
And we make our channel numbers extra legible. And we backlight our meters to increase readability. And many models have a power mic preamp built in to increase modulation. Then they're designed for better isolation.
GE, the name to buy in CB.
We also show you if your
I'm
antennas
glad I
work
asked.
properly.
A lot of class, a lot of style, a lot of grass. The song of the American Eagle, the song of the places we call home.
The Goodyear American Eagle radial, built with Flex-10 cord belts instead of steel. Flex-10, made from a man-made aramid fiber that's pound for pound stronger than steel.
The tire for America, the American Eagle.
Only from Goodyear.
High school activities programs will attract 10 million participants this year. Nearly 50% of the student body of most schools will be involved in the interscholastic program. The National Federation of State High School Associations requests your support for this important part of the school curriculum.
A 32-yard field goal by Frank Jordan has put USC on top. 3-0 with 8:39 to go first quarter. And Southern California's Rob Kerr will kick off to Tony Nathan, 22, and Major Ogilvy, 42. High kick. Nathan 3 yards deep in the end zone. Out to the 17, and there he goes down hard as Tony Oliveria comes down to make the stop for Southern California. Update on what's happening in the Cotton Bowl. Here's Bill Fleming.
All right, Keith, thank you. 3-3 is the score. Texas and Oklahoma. Let us quickly correct the fact, though, however, that Texas did not jump off to a 3-0 lead. It was Uwe von Schamann who kicked a 47-yard field goal for Oklahoma, and then a 64-yarder by Russell Erxleben of Texas tied it up. Okay, Keith.
64 yards. Kicked a 67 last week. Here comes Alabama now. Rutledge wide to Nathan. Good blocking outside. With a healthy Tony Nathan, that's a dynamite play for Alabama, and it's good that time for a first down up around the Alabama 28-yard line.
Beautiful execution by Jeff Rutledge. Came down the line, faked the ball to Davis, and then popped it out to Nathan, and was exceptionally well done.
At the 28, where Dennis Thurman made the stop for Southern California. Most of the folks now into the Coliseum. Sort of a late group getting here. Tell you about the Alabama folks in a little while. First down at the 28-yard line for the Tide. USC leading 3-0. Rutledge down the line with it. He gives it back, and there's not much there. As Lou Eichner, trailing the play from the right halfback position, just simply had no place to go. As he's tried to turn upfield, there was nothing but red shirts. And over there in a hurry for Southern California was number 95, Walt Underwood, whose native town is Tuscaloosa, grew up in Atlanta, Georgia, where he played his high school ball and then came to Southern California. A fact of life that does not please the Bear.
I'm sure losing a hometown boy.
Call it to 30, second down and 8. Here comes Eichner. A yard, that's all. Number 53 coming across, Gary Cobb, linebacker for Southern California with help from Dennis Thurman.
Here's 53, Gary Cobb, the outside linebacker, fights off the tight end block, gets penetration, but there was a lot of penetration by the entire Trojan team. Of course, Cobb makes the play. He's really an inside linebacker that they've moved to the outside for this ball game because of injuries to Maurice Salato.
Tim Travis, 88 in the ball game, replacing Rick Neal for Alabama. It is third down, and they need 8 yards for a first down from the 30. Rutledge rolls to throw, and he has some time. Now he runs out of time. He dumps the ball, and you won't get in college football the intentional grounding call very often.
No, that was good judgment by Rutledge, believe me, because he could have had a big negative yardage play, and there were white shirts in front of him, and anytime there's a receiver in the immediate area, it is not grounding of the ball.
All right, punt is coming up now from Buddy Holt. It'll be his second kick of the ball game. His first one good for 41. Lynn Kane is deep for Southern California. The snap is on the money, the rush. Down goes the kicker, the flag falls. They'll come back upfield, and USC will be penalized.
That's a roughing of the kicker. He looked like he was going to get a piece of the ball, but he didn't. And, of course, Alabama will have a first down after a 15-yard penalty.
Scott Frazier, I believe it was.
You see him launch himself, almost gets a piece of it. You'll see him catch his leg right here. He's trying to avoid him, but he gets just the left knee. And, of course, there's no question about the fact that that is roughing of the kicker.
And so it's a break for Alabama as Scott Frazier comes with a little too much steam, unable to avoid the punter Holt, and the Crimson Tide will have the football. It'll be their deepest advance of the afternoon. First down just outside their own 45-yard line. On a hot day, you don't want your defense to stay out there too long. Out of the I formation this time. Rutledge wants to throw it. He has Newsom going down the sidelines. He throws for Ozzie Newsom, and Newsom can't get to it. And I'll tell you this right now, that Dennis Thurman went downfield with him step for step for step. And it was a good play by Mr. Thurman, because Thurman was able to hold his position, thereby denying Ozzie Newsom any room on the field.
I'll tell you, John Robinson says that Thurman is one of the great ones. Here's Newsom coming down the field. Let's see if there's contact. Well, Thurman is probably one of the best free safeties in the country. At least John Robinson feels that way, and after seeing him for 2 years here, I can concur with that statement.
That was not pass interference. There was only mild contact, but the ball by that time was in the area. It is second down and 10 from the 45, and Rutledge turns to the tight side, and the ball goes out of bounds. A pitch back to Lou Eichner, number 30, and he had no place to go except down underneath the feet of his teammates. Bob Kreider is back in the ball game, incidentally, at offensive guard. Big senior from O'Fallon Township, Illinois, for Alabama.
That should help him. He's 6'5", 258, and a very fine football player. And when he went down with Nathan in that about that second play, it could have been a disastrous loss to him. He's back in there.
USC puts a 5-man front up this time on third down, and 8 yards to go from just about the 48-yard line, as Rutledge is caught behind the line of scrimmage by Walt Underwood. Underwood, a senior, 230 pounds, penetrating to make the stop. I'll tell you one other thing, Era, about the Southern California defensive unit. The 3 big guys who go down up front, they are 6'4", 6'6", 6'4".
Not bad. The thing that the Trojans are making Alabama go to the short side of the field and defensing the wide side, and it looks like Alabama's going to have to use that short side.
Buddy Holt's punt beauty. It's hanging high for Lynn Kane. Fair catch inside the 10. First down, Southern California at the 8-yard line. That's the beauty of a 45-yard kick by Buddy, and here's Bill Fleming.
All right, here's the final, too. Dartmouth defeated Yale today by the score of 3-0 on a 24-yard field goal by Mick Lowry in the third quarter. It's the first time that Yale has been shut out since 1970. And how about this score? Ohio State over Purdue, 46-0. Joel Payton, a freshman fullback, scored 4 touchdowns for the Buckeyes today, who led 39-0 at halftime. Okay, Keith.
Yeah, Joel Payton made his mark in the Oklahoma game. He's the hammer that Woody Hayes had been looking for. Let's call it the 9-yard line for Southern California. Sweeney comes in motion, and Hurdle turns and gives to the tailback. And there's not much there as Alabama gets tailback all the way, and Wayne Hamilton, number 94, led the tacklers on Charlie White.
Wayne Hamilton, as you'll see here, wipes off. But one of the things that happened on this play, it looked like White juggled that ball momentarily. He gets it back, and, of course, the fumble there could have been harmful to the Trojans. Hamilton does a good job coming in there. Good defensive play by Alabama.
5.5 to go. First quarter. USC leads on a 32-yard field goal, 3-0. Second down. 9 from the 10 for SC. Charlie White, the lone remaining back, He's got it on the blast play up the middle. Not much. Well, he got a little more than I thought he could. 187-pounder. He gets in that traffic, keeps on squirming and wiggling, and he got it out to about the 14-yard line. White now, 7 carries, 34 yards.
Kind of guy that makes the first defender miss all the time. He always avoids that first tackler.
The ball is just short of the 15. Let's call it 3rd and a short 5 for the Trojans. With Simron coming to the right side, they've not thrown it to Randy yet. He's caught at least one pass in 28 consecutive games. Here's the pitch to Charles White, the tailback. It's student body left, and White's got a first down as he comes across the 25 to the 26-yard line. Ball squirted loose, but the play was dead.
I think that was a classical example of what I was talking about. White on the student body left, had nothing to the outside, cut back to the inside against the pursuit, picked up a first down. That's individual running. That isn't something coached or taught.
That's also almost old single-wing football, isn't it?
That's exactly what it is.
At the 26-yard line, Dwight Ford in a tailback now for Southern Cal as Charles White gets the rest. First down. They send Sweeney in motion to the tight side. And hurdles to throw. He's looking for Simron. He overthrows him, and it's tipped away by Don McNeil of Alabama. Incomplete. Don pounding the ground, thinking that with a little bit of luck, and if he'd have been one step deeper, he'd have intercepted it.
I think that's a good call by Hurdle. I really do. First down and 10 is a great place to throw the ball, even though he's deep in his own territory. I like the idea of throwing on first down.
Second down 10, Trojans from their own 26. Sweeney and Simron wide right. Open side of the field. McNeil comes out there and sets up with Simron. They give it the other way to Ford behind the line of scrimmage. Fumble the ball. But they'll call it dead, I believe, before the ball came loose. At the 23-yard line. Wayne Hambleton again.
Number 94. They had a blitz on. You'll see the corner going. Number 23 is Mike Kramer, who's the rover. And they had an aggressive anticipation of a pass, and they put the blitz on, and they ran right into this reverse that the Trojans were running.
Ball was blown dead, however, before it popped out of the arm. It's at the 24-yard line, and it's 3rd and 12 for Hurdle. Hurdle's pass is away, intended for Sweeney. Knocked away by Don McNeil, and apparently McNeil is the man they want to pick on this afternoon.
What beautiful piece of defensive work, though. He knocked that ball down. Otherwise, it looked like it was going to be a well-executed pass from Hurdle to Simron.
And so USC will go to the punt for the first time today, and doing the kicking will be Marty King, and going deep to receive for Alabama will be Ozzie Newsome. I think he is a heck of a football player.
Marty King is, even the punters are big at Southern California. King is 6'2", 2.
Also averaging 37.5 yards per kick. He gets it off. That's more than 37.5 yards, I'll guarantee you. Newsome goes all the way back to the 20-yard line, looking for some help. Can't find much. And Ozzie brings it back just on sheer ability to the 28-yard line. A 55-yard punt with 3:16 to go, first quarter.
Fantastic scoring play by that New York Life Insurance team. Let's see the instant replay. Look at those New York Life pros blocking out Jake's money problems, stopping his retirement worries. And there he is, reaching his goal. Jake's got financial security.
New York Life made it happen.
Where the name of the game is life, there's New York Life.
Hey, boss, the Texaco guy's at it again. Now what? It's an antifreeze wiper refill special.
1 gallon of Texaco antifreeze coolant plus 2 wiper blade refills.
Only incredible. A pair of refills alone can cost up to $5. Yeah. How can he do it?
Because I'm a good guy.
Texaco antifreeze and wiper refills at a special low price at your participating Texaco Good Guys.
Beginning this Tuesday night at 8 Eastern Time, all the color and excitement of the 1977 World Series on ABC.
Well, the Nittany Lions of Penn State won today 16-7 over Utah State. Although the was a little excitement there because Penn State fell behind until the fourth quarter. And Michigan has, with 1 minute to go in the game, a 10-point lead over Michigan State. Okay, Keith.
All right, back down on the floor of the Coliseum. First down, Alabama with Stedman Shealy now in at quarterback. He is the better runner in the quarterback core for the Tide, and he's keeping it right now. And that's why Bear Bryant wants him in the lineup. Stedman Shealy, 186-pound sophomore out of Dothan, brought down by Dennis Thurman and Clay Matthews. And Texas has gone on top of Oklahoma. The Sooners jumped on top 3-0. Texas tied it up 3-3. And in the second quarter now, Texas has scored a touchdown. Under Freddie Akers, the horns are snorting, aren't they, at halftime? Al Michaels will bring you up to date and show you some highlights from that ball game. It is a first down, Alabama. The football is sitting at the 38-yard line as Shealy ran for 10. Out of the wishbone, Shealy keeps it, turns it, and how do you do, Stedman?
Well, he looked good on that first play, though. He's got good quicks. I liked what I saw. I think that he may be a capable replacement for Jack O'Rear. Of course, he doesn't have the experience, but he looked like a guy that can handle that football in that first play, that first option play that they ran.
Coach Bryant on the sidelines, talking with his staff. That's Bruce Bolton, 32, sitting in the background back there, waiting for his chance to play. Dennis Johnson made the tackle for Southern California. He's a 230-pound sophomore out of Flint, Michigan. It is second down and 10 for Alabama from the 38. Stedman Shealy comes this way with it. He delivers it back to the trailing back. And Faust is up to about the 44-yard line. Donnie Faust, a 210-pound senior out of Fairhope, Alabama. I mentioned a while ago, I'll tell you about the Alabama, the faithful. Well, as best we can find out, there were at least 13 charter planes that left the state of Alabama from Mobile, Birmingham, and Tuscaloosa headed west. But it's also our understanding of the 9,700 people who bought tickets for this ball game, the majority of them stopped in Las Vegas. And we're sort of interested as to how many of them made it to the ball game today. Underwood is out holding his shoulder. Eddie Cato is in at defensive tackle for Southern California. Tim Travis splits out to the top of the screen. It is third down and 4 for Alabama. Stedman Shealy turns it upfield, and a fine effort by the sophomore from Dothan, Alabama. Before Carter Hartwig can bring him down, he picks up a first down for the Crimson Tide.
Looks like he's got good quick feet, and that's what that wishbone needs. Looks like Stedman may be a guy that can move that football for him. They're staying right in the wishbone, too. They haven't broken it much.
Ball, the nose of the football is almost touching midfield, where it's first down, Alabama. We have 1 minute and 5 seconds left to play in the first quarter. A 32-yard field goal by Rob Kerr, and USC leads 3-0. And up the middle goes the play. And the football is fumbled, and it's recovered. Steve Whitman carried it. He coughed it up. Southern California recovers it after Dennis Johnson knocked it loose.
Tough break. They were really moving the ball on the ground.
All right, USC makes a break, and here's Bill.
Keith, I think it's kind of interesting that the third-string Texas quarterback, Randy McEachin, guided the Longhorns to the score that put them up on top 10-3 with Earl Campbell going over on a 24-yard run. The first two Texas quarterbacks have been hurt.
Thank you, Bill. First down, Southern Cal. Good field position. Their own 47-yard line after recovering Whitman's fumble. And Hurdle is back to throw. Wants to strike quickly. Ball is intercepted by Huey Mitchell. He was trying to get the football to Simron, and Mitchell, a linebacker, dropped off in the short zone and picked it off.
Super interception by Dewey. And he's not a little guy. He's 6'2", 230-pound senior. Let's take a look at it here. Hurdle rolls out to his left, throws a turn in, and look at that interception. He falls down after he gets it, but he's going back in a zone and was in a beautiful position for it.
And so Alabama gets the ball back now with 50 seconds to play in the first quarter. And Southern Cal leading 3-0. At the 40 for the Tide. Stedman Shealy, the quarterback. Neal comes wide now. Shealy rides it off to the fullback, Johnny Davis. And Davis straight ahead for a couple of yards. Number 53 on the bottom of the stack there is Gary Cobb, linebacker for Southern California.
Well, they shook hands on the turnover. Successive plays, a fumble and interception.
The backfield for Alabama, Tony Nathan and Lou Eichner and Johnny Davis. Jeff Rutledge having been replaced by Stedman Shealy. Shealy on the first carry went for a first down. Bear Bryant looking for a little bit of ball control, possession with 13 seconds to go. The handoff to Nathan. And Nathan just slams into the right side and gets close to the 45 before Clay Matthews, linebacker number 60, hit him.
He's had a bad thigh and looks like he's okay. We've watched him here on the early going, and looks like Nathan's back heavy or well again.
First quarter's over. SC leads Alabama 3-0.
See what's new today in a Chevrolet. See what's new today in a Chevrolet. See what's new today in a Chevrolet. Your dealer is inviting you to call. Drive what's new today, drive a Chevrolet. You'll see why folks like Chevy best of all. Up the highway, down the road, along the freeway. The ideas are new now, the styling is true now. There's good news for you now in a Chevy. So come on in, we say, and see what's new today. You'll see it in a Chevrolet.
This year, your Chevy dealer has more good news about more new Chevrolets than you've seen in years. The new third-generation Monte Carlo, the new size Chevy Malibu, the new size Malibu wagon, the new four-door Chevy Chevette hatchback. These plus the new Chevrolet Caprice, new Chevy Monzas, a new Camaro, even a new silver anniversary Corvette. It's all here, it's all now, it's all new, it's all for you.
Come on in, we say, and see what's new today. You'll see it in a Chevrolet. See what's new today in a Chevrolet.
We go to the second quarter of play here in Los Angeles with SC leading by a score of 3-0. But Alabama beginning to move the ball. As you look at the first quarter numbers, it's pretty even.
Yeah, well, that first drive the Trojans had, they made most of the yardage, but Alabama's come back, and really they had a good first quarter.
At quarterback now, Jeff Rutledge is back in. Stedman Shealy did a good job. Jeff's had a rest. He's back in fresh. It is third down. They need 5. They need the pass. They're a little flip inside to Lou Eichner. Eichner gets his head down and dives for midfield, and he's close to the first down. A play that we saw in the Nebraska game, and it worked there, and it worked right here. As we go back to those first quarter numbers and the time of possession, you can see almost dead even. Only 4 seconds separating them.
Turnovers are even, 1 and 1. Now, in first downs, it's a close ball game, an even ball game up to this point.
First down for Alabama at midfield. As we just begin play here in the second quarter with Walt Underwood back in the lineup defensively for USC. Alabama on the near side, looking at the back of Bear Bryant right there. Out of the wishbone. First man, Davis. Not more than 2 yards at the most. As the USC inner defense, Rich Dimmler, the nose guard, and Myron Lepka. Big sophomore out of Chatsworth, California, made the stop.
Well, yesterday, as I was talking to some of the Trojan coaches, they said that Dimmler, number 92, who got up slowly there, was one of the great ones. He's 6'6", 255, and really has the quicks, and he's really strong.
He played a lot of different positions here, too, in his early days at USC, offensive and defensively. Second down and call it 9 from the USC 49. Alabama with the ball. Here comes Nathan. Faust was taken down just about the line of scrimmage, his lead blocker, and from that point on, it was simply up to Toner to do it himself, Carter Hartwig, and he got him. Number 11, the cornerback, California. On ABC's NFL Monday Night Football, next Monday at 9 Eastern, the Los Angeles Rams will be going into the Midwest to play the Chicago Bears at Soldier Field in Chicago. Frank Gifford and Don Meredith. We're going to save Howard Cosell because the World Series starts on Tuesday, but you'll enjoy it as the Rams go in to test Jack Party's Chicago Bears on ABC's NFL Monday Night Football next Monday. It's third down and 6 yards to go, and a beautiful pitch to the tight end, Tim Travis, coming around on the reverse from the other side of the field, and it's good for a first down, and there is the first Innovative move by Bear Bryant, and you know that Bear's got a lot of players in the book this week.
Yeah, Charlie Thornton, their sports information director, was talking to us earlier here, and he said they were going to try some gadgets. They felt that they could not muscle the Trojans, and that's probably true as John Davis is trying to threaten them on the inside. But there was a good gadget with the end coming around and an option play, and it was very successful for a first down.
Rutledge held the ball just as long as he possibly could, and time now called. Timeout charged against Southern California with 13:08 to play in the first half, with the temperature down on the field right at 90 degrees. USC leads Alabama 3-0.
Give me a cool, misty morning, the rugged Swedish coast, and nothing to do but enjoy them. Then give me Borkum Riff bourbon-flavored tobacco. In Sweden, we know that flavoring our fine tobacco softens and enriches them. And that's just what we do with Borkum Riff. Bourbon-flavored Borkum Riff is my favorite smoke, and one of life's simple pleasures.
Who is the #1 investment firm in the East? Who is the #1 investment firm in the Midwest? Who is the #1 investment firm in the South? Who is the #1 investment firm in the West? You know who. Merrill Lynch. All around America, more investors turn to Merrill Lynch than any other investment firm. Sure, there are lots of investment firms, but there's only one Merrill Lynch.
Final score today, the Yankees defeating Kansas City in Kansas City by a score of 6-4. So the Yankees pull even. Now let's check on some football scores with Bill Fleming.
All right, Keith. Michigan defeated Michigan State today by the score of 24-14. And we'll be back in just a moment with more, but I think we're back to action here.
On first down at the USC 37-yard line for Alabama. And not a whole lot of daylight as Tony Nathan was looking for some blocking to form in front of him. And that particular time, I think it is fair to say, Era, that the USC defense just ran all over the blocking, knocked it down.
Yeah, what happened on the play was the fullback, John Davis, ran into the quarterback before he could throw the ball, and it threw the timing off. It was what they call a quick screen to the wide receiver. And the timing was off just a hair there.
Now Nathan comes off the field for Alabama. Donnie Faust, 44, is out there. Johnny Davis. Ozzie Newsome is set to the right side. Jeff Rutledge back to throw on 2nd down and 8, in trouble. And down he goes. Ed Gutierrez, number 50, a 205-pound senior out of Los Angeles. Knocks him down way back up the field.
Rutledge didn't have much of an opportunity that time. He rolled out to his left, and of course, before he could escape the pressure, Gutierrez nailed him for a huge loss.
Ball is back at the 49-yard line, a loss of 15 yards on the play. From the 49, Alabama has got to go to the Southern California 27 to get its first down. So it'll be 3rd and 22. It might be time for another one of those gadget plays.
I don't know. There's not a lot of yardage there to make up.
Well, there's certainly nothing gadget about that. They give it to fullback Johnny Davis, and he just hammers it straight ahead to about the SC 44. And it'll bring up 4th and long for Alabama.
Well, you don't mind making a mistake, say, inside the 40-yard line of the opponent, but when you get back into your own territory, why, field position can change drastically, and they'd rather punt the ball here and make the Trojans go a long way.
Lynn Kane is deep for Southern Cal. Buddy Holt will punt it for Alabama. There's Kane, number 21. Good snap. No rush. Hangs it very high. And it'll go, however, to the end zone where USC will have it after a 49-yard punt. First down at the 20. Here's Bill.
All right, it looks like quite a running battle today between Colorado and Oklahoma State. Colorado leading 12-7. Colorado went out to a 6-0 lead, and then Terry Miller, the nation's leading rusher, ran 78 yards to put Oklahoma State on top 7-6, and then James Mayberry came back to run 70 yards and then put it in for the 2-point conversion. So Colorado is leading Oklahoma State 12-7.
Thank you, Bill. It is a 44-yard punt for Holt, not 49. First down at the 20, Southern Cal. Charles White, the tailback. The Tupu's in motion. Pitch to White. Tatupu leading the blocking. Alabama follows it well, and the tackle is made around the 22 by Ricky Gilliland, number 92, a junior out of Birmingham. And there's a final out of the Ivy League, with Princeton winning today over Columbia. And Bill told you Ohio State beat Purdue today 46-0, while Penn and Brown have a decent sort of ball game going. And Penn State struggling with Utah State 16-7, winning. Army and Villanova a final. That would have been a fun ball game to watch. 34-32. It is second down and 8 yards to go from the 22 for SC. Tatupu, the fullback, slants it over the left side and gets into the secondary. And the big guy out of Punahou School in Honolulu makes it first down, Southern California at the 44-yard line. 22-yard carry.
Well, you know that the Crimson Tide has to be keying on Charlie White for obvious reasons, and Tatupu has done this many times. The linebackers will start to flow in anticipation of White getting the ball on that sweep, and boom, he'll cut. Tatupu cuts it against the grain. He came out, broke a tackle, and picked up big yardage.
First down Trojans, 44. They lead 3-0. Sweeney in motion. Second man, the tailback out of the I formation. For a yard, that's all. White, Ford now, and Lynn Kane are the setbacks for USC. Ford is 22, White is 12, Kane is 21, Tatupu 36.
This young, here comes, of course, Wayne Hamilton again, number 94. He's been in a lot of action, but this young Alabama defensive line is maturing. They're coming on. They're playing a good football game here this afternoon.
Come on, blow them out.
At the 45, second down 9 for Southern California. Hurdle to throw. Simrins, his target, throws it short to the fullback, Tatupu, out of the backfield, and he'll get a couple of yards, and that'll be it. Dewey Mitchell, the young man who made the interception for Alabama, putting the heat on Hurdle that time.
Yeah, it looked like Hurdle was going to get some negative yardage there, but he was able to escape from it and throw the ball, but for very little yardage on the completion.
Continuing to run down scores from out of the eastern part of the country, games that have been completed in West Virginia. Having a rather decent season, aren't they? Maryland beating Syracuse today, 24-10. It'll be third down and 8 yards to go from the 46-yard line. This time they split the backs behind Hurdle. Rob the throw.
Go, Randy.
Good defensive pressure by Alabama. Number 36 came in a big hurry. Rich Wingo made him move, and that set him up for Wayne Hamilton to make the tackle.
They went into a blitz that time. Good coverage, man-to-man coverage, and here they come. The linebackers fire. They cannot pick it up. Watch them both come here. Wingo comes through, Rich Wingo, 6'2", 230. Avoids a blocker. And you can see Hurdle comes up with a lot of negative yardage.
And it brings up fourth down and a kicking down with Ozzie Newsome going deep for Alabama, and Marty King to punt for USC. Hit a 57-yarder his first time today. Warm afternoon in Los Angeles. Good snap. No pressure. Kick is away. Good kick. Newsome backs up to the 20. Missed by 1.
Oh, look out. He's got it.
He may go. Penalty flag back upfield. Penalty flag back upfield. Newsome dragged down at the USC 32-yard line by Mike Carey. A 46-yard punt. Newsome ran out of one tackle himself, then started getting some help and almost broke it, but way back up at the 30-yard line, there's a penalty flag.
Might have been Wayne Hamilton. I can't see.
There it is, a clip against Alabama. The run by Newsome nullified.
Let's see if I can see the clip here. Right, yes, I think it is. I can't see the number there at the top of the picture. Right at the top of the picture. Number, it's blurred there. Right at the right corner of the picture there.
Doesn't matter. He's wearing white, and he did clip.
And, you know, that's a real break for the Trojans, because here, look at the field position he's going to get.
With 8 minutes and 13 seconds to go in the first half of play, our score remains Southern California 3, Alabama nothing, and a big effort by Newsome nullified by penalty.
Last year, General Motors redesigned its full-size cars to help conserve our natural resources. They became some of the best-selling new cars in GM history. This year, GM introduces its second wave of cars in an all-new size. The 19 1978 Chevrolet Malibu and Monte Carlo, Pontiac Le Mans and Grand Prix, Oldsmobile Cutlass Salon and Cutlass Supreme, and Buick Century and Regal. While these cars are trimmer outside than last year, both sedans and coupes offer more headroom, legroom, and rear seat knee room. There's more usable trunk space this year for carrying things. And extensive corrosion-resisting treatments. In all, these cars are spacious, quiet, secure, and with their trim new styling, in tune with the time. See them at your GM dealer soon. GM's new mid-size cars, designed and engineered for a changing world.
As a charter member of the Southeastern Conference, Alabama blends a balanced intercollegiate program of tennis, golf, track, baseball, swimming, wrestling, and basketball, along with football, into the excellent academic program of the university.
Alabama gets the ball now with bum field position back at the 14-yard line with Stedman Shealy, the running quarterback, in the lineup. Mitch Ferguson and Major Ogilvie making his first appearance of the day with Steve Whitman. And it's Ogilvie, the freshman out of Birmingham, out to the 19 for close to 5.
He's no little guy. He's 5'11", about 210. He thrust in there pretty good on that play.
Not much clouds to talk about in Southern California today, but it's sort of a hazy day, and the temperature around 82 degrees out in the sun, but quite a bit warmer than that down on the field of play. Bruce Bolton goes wide now to the open side of the field on 2nd down and 5, and Shealy turns, keeps. Outside it goes. And somebody lost a shirt tail over there as Major Ogilvie took the pitch out. And Shealy waited just about as long as he possibly could, and he's kind of lucky to get the ball back.
Well, it was within an eyelash of a possible bad pitch or a fumble, but he got it off, and they managed some yards in the play.
Yeah, he's very close to a first down. They'll bring the chains on to measure as Paul Kamansky, the referee, will set it, and they'll have a look. And it's a first down for Alabama. So the Southern California defensive unit has not been able to shut down the Tide.
It's been the outside plays that have been successful for the Crimson Tide. They have had difficulty moving the ball inside against Dimmler and Lapka, Van Dyke, and Underwood. But to the outside, they've gotten leverage.
Whitman is the fullback. Shealy the quarterback. The break, Buddy Adelette, number 81, wide to the right to the open side of the field. Ride it down. Here comes Shealy. Going to turn it upfield. Runs it back into the center, and he gets 2 yards on that carry. On the bottom for Southern California, it is number 50, Ed Gutierrez, linebacker.
Carter Hardwick, number 11 for the Trojans, playing the corner position, is really playing a good football game. He's about 6'2", 200 junior. And he was a wide receiver when he came to Southern California, and quite a secondary man now.
USC has to spend a timeout, too, because Ed Gutierrez came hobbling off the field. That means they've got 1 left in the first half with 6 minutes and 41 seconds remaining to play. And the score, SC 3, Alabama nothing.
Blazer, 1978. One reason why Chevy continues to sell more four-wheelers than anyone else. Chevy Blazer is built tough with features like available full-time four-wheel drive, 7 full inches of ground clearance, front stabilizer bar, and front disc brakes. Tough Chevy Blazer, at home in the dirt or in the suburbs.
Are you okay, honey?
Chevy trucks, built to stay tough.
Hey, Schlitz wants you to have a ball. Pass the word, pass the word.
Hey, now's the time to pick up plenty of Schlitz.
Pass the word, pass the word, pass the word.
Because the Schlitz football offer is here. Look for this display at participating stores and save up to $5 on an official Wilson football. Come on.
Pick up Schlitz and have a ball. Pass the word, pass the word, pass the Schlitz.
Beginning this Tuesday night at 8 Eastern Time, all the color and excitement of the 1977 World Series on ABC.
It's now halftime at the Texas-Oklahoma game, and Texas out in front 10-3. Mark McBath, the starting Texas quarterback, hurt an ankle. John Ani came in, hurt a knee, and Randy McEachin came in, who's never lettered before and is now running the ball club. So, and Keith, I wonder how tough it's going to be in that second half.
Well, Keith, you know, I remember when Terry Hanratty was hurt and Joe Theismann was thrust into the ball game, and responsibility has a way of making new stars, and possibly we might find one today.
Out of the veer formation, there's a lot of heat on the youngster, but he's been there a while. He knows what they're doing, and maybe it's his time to shine. We'll see. Second down and 8 yards to go for Alabama now from the 27-yard line, and here comes Tony Nathan getting a fine block and getting outside on the sideline. He got a tremendous block from Mitch Ferguson to get him turned upfield, and he made something out of it, didn't he? That was a fine run of 18 yards by Nathan, and if he's got a sore wheel, good Lord, I'd hate to see him when he was healthy.
He really moved. I tell you, that is the 8th first down for the Trojans, and they are really peppering the Trojans to the outside. I should say the 8th first down for Alabama.
The edge in total yards by 27 yards now to the Tide. First down at their 43-yard line, and they send it into the middle. And there isn't much yardage there.
It's Rich Dimmler in there, 92. They're having a lot of success to the outside, and I imagine they'll stay out there.
Gain of 2 yards from the 43 to the 45, where it is second down and 8 for Alabama. Send Adelet out to the left side in the open side of the field. Bolton to the right side. Shealy coming to the tight side. And Stedman Shealy wiggles it up to about the 49-yard line before the Trojans plant him, and it's McGrew making the stop.
That Dennis Johnson, 56, going off. Looks like he might have an ankle. Linebacker, very fine linebacker, 6'4", 230, a sophomore, limped off the field there.
They're very high on him. Like him very much.
Leading tackler on the ball club.
It's third down. They need 6. Shealy to throw. A lot of time, and misses his man. Throws it short of the intended receiver, Bruce Bolton, who had come from a wide position on the open side, hooking back into the middle. And it'll bring up a 4th down and a punting situation for Alabama. So the Tide worked themselves out of bad field position, moving from their own 14-yard line up to near midfield, but now must give it up with 5:13 to go in the first half, and trailing in the ball game by a score of 3-0, with Lynn Kane dropping back for Southern California, and Buddy Holt will do the punting for the Tide. Snaps on the money. The kick is away, and he knuckleballs it. Kane comes up to the 15, fair catches at the 16, and it's first down Southern California at that point in time. 1977 World Series, and we don't know yet who's going to be playing, but it begins at 8 Eastern Time on Tuesday, next Tuesday, October 11th. 8 p.m. Eastern Time on Wednesday, October 12th, and again on Friday, October 14th, with Thursday being a day for travel. So the World Series, first time ever on ABC. Hope you'll join us. Think you'll enjoy it. Call it the 16, first down. Hurdle pitches the ball out to Charles White. White gets a yard. Good defensive flow again by Alabama. Barry Krause, 77, made the stop.
Well, it's really impressive. They have played an outstanding defensive game, and they have moved the ball much more effectively than was anticipated, particularly on the option play to the outside.
That's Dennis Johnson's foot and ankle they're working on there, the Southern California trainer. Second down and 9 coming. Looks like they've added some tape to the ankle, so he must have sprained it a little bit. They're playing on real grass here in the Coliseum. Hurdle gives to Tupu. And Morsi is across the 20 to the 22 before number 21 comes up out of the secondary, Mike Tucker, and makes the tackle. Here's Bill Fleming.
You know, Keith, a couple of weeks ago when we saw Nebraska play Alabama, we saw I Am Hip, the fellow with a colorful name for Nebraska. Well, today he has run 66 yards for 1 touchdown, 82 yards for another touchdown. But those Kansas State fellows are coming back in the 4th quarter. on a pass from Dan Minucci to Paul Kaufman. They've scored to make it 17-9, so it's a good close one.
It is indeed. Isaiah having a heck of a year. Given a little chance, and he's turned it into something big. Here's Rob Hurdle on 3rd down and 5. Wants to throw it over the middle. Does. Pass. Incomplete, intended for Randy Simron, and almost intercepted by Ricky Tucker for Alabama.
Hurdle just threw the ball a little bit wide on him. If you watch Simron here, we're going to take a look at him on this pass route. He drives up the field. The Alabama team went into just a 4-man rush. They didn't blitz. He turns in. He's open here, and the ball's thrown off to his left, and it's almost intercepted coming off of his fingertips. Hurdle is having his problems. He completed 57% up until this ball game, but Alabama's keeping him pretty well quieted down.
Now into punt, it is Marty King for Southern California. Isaac Newsom is deep for Alabama. 3:47 to go first half. Tide should get this ball in good field position. They peel back to block. The kick is away by King, and it's a very good kick. Newsom at the 29. Back to the 35. 50-yard punt by Marty King. So the ball apparently is flying today for the punters. Both of them doing a good job. ABC's Wide World of Sports, 2 weeks from today at 5 Eastern and Pacific, 4 Central Time. Nadia Comaneci, United States versus Romania, women's gymnastic out of the Superdome in New Orleans. And the Harlem Globetrotters from the Omni in Atlanta, Georgia, with Meadowlark Lemon and all his folks having fun over most of these ABC stations. It's wide. It's Nathan. Beautiful move by Nathan. And he picks it from the 35-yard line out across the 40 to the 43. Rich Demler, the tackle.
All the lead blockers for Alabama, when they come out on the option play, which would be the right halfback in this particular case coming right, or the left halfback going left, have been blocking beautifully for the ball carrier, which is the trailing back. And this is one of the things that the wishbone is almost mandatory to make it successful, is the other back has got to be willing to block for the ball carrier.
Second down, they need about 2.5 yards from the 43. Outside, Eichner. Lou Eichner runs for the first down. Down the sideline, but he's out of bounds at the USC 47-yard line. Steve Busick, defensively for Southern California. Lou Eichner, I remember from a game last year. I don't remember exactly what game it was, but you get him outside, turned on, and he can burn you.
Yeah, he's only 5'10", about 176. I didn't know he had that kind of speed, but he turned that corner there, and he can really move.
USC opened the game most impressively, marched down. Alabama stiffened. They kicked a 32-yard field goal. Since then, Alabama has been very much in this ball game, but they've yet to score. Rutledge back at quarterback, and Jeff keeps it, turns it upfield. And he moves it from the USC 47 down about 4 yards to the 43. Carter Hartwig coming out of the secondary to make the tackle for USC.
There was a big change-up defensively that time. The Trojans decided to make the quarterback keep it. Defenders came upfield to choke off the pitch and made the quarterback keep it, and good support from the secondary to keep that from being a big gainer.
The idea offensively, of course, is to keep them guessing as much as you can. The defensive unit now, you've got a 7-man front up there for Southern Cal. And it may cost him as Eichner gets outside. And he is close to a first down. Penalty flag, however, is on the field across the way as the ball carrier rolled into the crowd over there.
Can't tell from this vantage point what it was.
Might have been a face mask.
Yeah.
Looks like USC is retreating.
Let's see if we can see whether or not this... There's the face mask right there. That's right. Number 42, Ron Lott. He's a freshman, 6'3", about 192, was the culprit in that case. And here we are with 2:10 left to go. They're down at the 21-yard line.
Alabama knocking on the door. Their deepest penetration of the ball game. SC leading 3-0.
I wondered whether or not they were going to get into field goal position. They're in scoring position.
Right.
Touchdown position.
Newsom, wide right. Davis has it. And Johnny's inside the 20, close to the 18. Carter Hartwig comes in to make another play defensively for Southern Cal. And you're right, that youngster's playing a heck of a ball game.
Well, they're having trouble scratching on the inside, but they're sure getting to the outside.
Navy edging Air Force 10-7, and Senator Proxmire most concerned in that ball game that all the admirals and generals and whoever came paid their own way. Look at Clemson. I tell you, Clemson's got a pretty decent football team down there in Death Valley, and North Carolina beating Wake Forest today. It is second down and 8 yards to go for Alabama. Deep in USC territory. This time the Trojan defense muscles up and they get a hold of Nathan, and they stop him with Clay Matthews, number 60, leading the tacklers.
And I think looks like Clay is hurt too on the play.
Matthews getting up very slowly. He has been injured and has not played all that much, and as the day wears on and the Trojan defense has to sit out there on the field for a long time, he may feel the impact of a hot afternoon and the inactivity. Look here, Vanderbilt over LSU 9-0 in the third quarter, and we're going to have a report out of the Cotton Bowl in Dallas, Texas at halftime with Al Michaels telling us what's been happening in that big Texas ball game. And Georgia beat Ole Miss today by 1, and Georgia Tech leading Tennessee 17-8 in the fourth quarter. In first downs, Alabama with 10, USC 4. In this second quarter, it's been pretty much all Alabama with the Tide 6 first downs against 1 for Southern California.
And knocking on the door. They're definitely within field goal range, and of course they can score, go ahead in the ball game with a touchdown.
1 minute and 22 seconds. Iowa State leading Missouri 7-0 in a Big 8 ball game. Larry McGrew is in the lineup along with Steve Busick at linebacker and Dennis Johnson and Ed Gutierrez with Gary Cobb and Clay Matthews out of there right now. You saw one of the coaches talking to Cobb, and now Cobb will come into the ball game. So Gary Cobb is back in at a linebacker. The football is sitting just inside the Southern California 18-yard line. Alabama has it. Third down. And 7 to go for the first down. Jeff Rutledge at quarterback. Nathan wants to throw an option pass. Throws for Newsome. Too high. Incomplete.
He also had the quarterback throwback possibility on. Trying to get outside the corner there after he'd pitched the ball off, but he was covered.
And that brings up a fourth down and the obvious possibility of a field goal effort by Alabama. That would mean Roger Chapman would be kicking out of Kevin Jones' hole.
Well, he's 7 for 11 in the field goals, both lucky numbers.
And this is a 34-yard shot from the near hash mark. Blocked. It is blocked by number 47 for Southern California. He came flying in. Nobody touched Larry Brazil, and he knocked it away. The Trojans hold.
Great defensive play. Anytime you can block field goals and keep a lead of 3-0 on the board, it's a significant accomplishment.
You know, he almost came too soon. You know that?
Yeah, Brazil almost went by it. I don't know whether the kicker was slow or not. It didn't appear to be. Brazil must have really been off on the snap.
1:09 to play first half. Southern California gets the ball back. First down. 34-yard line. Hurdle back to throw. Wants to throw it over the middle. Does. Simran can't hold on. Randy Simran, who has caught at least one pass in 28 consecutive games for a school record. There's a penalty flag thrown back where Hurdle delivered the ball. Might be holding.
He was right on target, too. You watch here. Simran comes down, breaks into the inside. Watch the ball come right on target. A little low, but normally Simran's going to grab those kind. Almost gets it on the second try. And as you see there, it falls incomplete.
Holding against Southern California. That backs them up. With 1 minute and 2 seconds to play in the first half. Hamilton off the field for the moment for Alabama. He's played a lot of defensive end so far in this ball game, and he's out getting a breather. There's your definition of the penalty by the referee, Paul Kamansky. Southern California now is backed up into, let's see, the 13-yard line. So SC now way back upfield. They've got to go to the 43, just beyond it, for a first down. They send Mosi Tutupu, the fullback, up to the 15-yard line, and that's all he can get. A pickup on the play of 2 yards. The Fireman's Fund report today will be a report out of the Cotton Bowl in Dallas, Texas, on the Sooners and the Longhorns. You see how much time remains here in the Coliseum, and the clock is running with 40 to go. And SC leading Alabama 3-0. Not quite the kind of a ball game we expected. Thought it might be more scoring in it. Right Ford. Ford, who broke a 70-yarder for a touchdown, tries to wiggle in there for the sidelines, and Alabama sealed him away from it and brought him down just beyond the 20.
Well, I think the Trojans are going to be happy to just conclude this first half with a 3-0 lead, rather than put the ball up in the air and have an interception or any kind of a turnover that would create an opportunity for Alabama to kick a field goal. So I would think that they would run the clock out.
With 17 seconds to play in the first half, that's the first time out. Oh, it's the second time out in Southern California. So they've got one left, and I guess Alabama would have one left.
Looks like maybe the heat down there is getting some of the players. It's about 82 or 83 degrees on the temperature scale over here, and that's in the shade, so you know what that field must be like.
"17 seconds left to play in the first half. Number 1 ranked USC against number 8 ranked Alabama. Bear Bryant bringing his team in, and they're playing much better defensive football today than they did the last time we saw them in that wild and exciting thriller in Lincoln, Nebraska, where Nebraska beat them 31-24. Third down and a quarter of a mile for USC. Third down and 20. Here goes Dwight Ford, the tailback. And he's up across the 30 to the 32, and probably here Alabama will spend its final timeout.
Well, I would think that Alabama is just going to go ahead and use that timeout for a possible punt return.
10 seconds remaining. Nick Nicolari in the Goodyear blimp Columbia with Archie Griffin, our cameraman, and Hugo Di Leonardo, the video man, up riding around over Los Angeles this afternoon.
I think at this stage, Keith, that I would just instruct my punter to, as I'm sure John Robinson may have, is just to have him kick the ball out of bounds. Not allow any kind of a return, be willing to take 30 or 35 yards or even 20 or 25 yards to keep the big punt return from being a psychological and a type of hindrance to the Trojans just before the end of this half.
Tony Nathan is the deep man as the Bear looks on from the sidelines. The man will be kicking is Marty King, and Nathan is back. I'm sure Alabama doesn't like to use Nathan back there too much. They want to bang him up again. But right here they need the running back and his ability in the open field. They peel back to block. King hangs a beauty. Nathan has to chase it to the sidelines, and it bounces back on the field of play, and USC is right there to get him inside the 20-yard line. A 45-yard punt by Marty King, and Clay Matthews was downfield to put the hit on him. And so all of that fiddling around, trying to get this and that organized and so forth, the bounce of the ball denies it.
That's right. Bounced back into the field of play. He made a good kick. He put it right on the sideline. It looked like it was going to go out of bounds, but it took a croom back to the inside here.
Put it down at right near the 17 for Alabama with 1 tick remaining on the first half clock. I would think they'll just snap it, run it out, and they do. And so in the first half of football, that is surprising. The Southern California Trojans lead it by a score of 3-0 on a 32-yard field goal, and that was it. And now let's go down to the field for Bill Fleming and John Robinson.
All right, Keith, and Coach, I know you want to get to the dressing room quickly. Does this score at halftime surprise you?
No, not at all. We expected it to be an even game, and it is an even game. I think both sides are playing excellent defense. It's about as we expected it to be. It's going to be this way right down to the last play.
Well, I think Era and Keith both thought that it was going to be really a highly explosive offensive game, and we look up on the scoreboard and it's 3-0.
I think most when two good football teams meet, it's a defensive game. You think of most of the outstanding games around the country from mid-season to the end of the season, they become defensive games. Early in the year, sometimes the offense surprises, but there aren't any surprises left. Now it's just football and who wears the other man down and who makes the key error.
Just a quick question here. Based on the look that Alabama gave you in the first half, what do you think you'll do in the second half against them offensively?
Try to get another field goal the way it looks. I think offensively we're just not getting any continuity. They're mixing up. They're coming at us on passing downs a little bit. We're just not doing our thing well enough. I think and that's the thing you try to do. Get yourself to where you're doing what you do as well as you can.
Okay, Coach. That's Coach John Robinson, of course, of USC, and we'll be back with our Fireman's Fun flashback as well as other halftime activities right after this message from one of our sponsors.
Goodyear announces Tiempo. Now you can eliminate winter tire changeover. Tiempo, a breakthrough in steel-belted radials that took on the rugged...
Most frightening journey in the history of thrillers.
My life has been threatened.
Agatha Christie's classic whodunit, Murder on the Orient Express, right after the Hardy Boys, Nancy Drew Mysteries, and the $6 Million Man.
Tomorrow night, starting at 7, 6 Central on Mountain.
Well, good. No, I'm glad. I just didn't get a count, and I thought maybe I screwed you. Well, oh, okay, good. Bill Fleming, along with Keith Jackson and Ara Parsegian, back at the Coliseum in Los Angeles, where the halftime score is the Trojans 3 and the Crimson Tide nothing. The score coming with 6:21 to go in the first quarter. A 32-yard field goal by Frank Jordan. That was all the scoring up until the last couple of seconds of that first half, when SC blocked an attempted field goal by Alabama that would have tied it up. Right now, the Spirit of Troy, the Trojan Marching Band on the field. And I don't have to tell you what that song is. The theme from Rocky. That's the halftime theme here today by this 250-piece marching band, the largest band in the school history. Dr. Arthur Partner is the director of the band. The drum major is Rodney Davis. And our featured twirlers today will be Becky Armstrong and Mr. Terry Dunn. So, Rocky and the Trojan Marching Band. first sign that was up there was Roll Tide, and now it's Roll Over Dead. Obviously, the SC card section teasing the Alabama's and Crimson Tide rooters. By the Trojan Marching Band. This Alabama USC game is being brought to you by Texaco, working to keep your trust for 75 years by bringing you quality gasoline and other fine automotive products. By all the new 1978 Chevrolets, now at your Chevy dealers everywhere. By Kentucky Fried Chicken. For hot, tender, finger-licking good chicken and fixins, a good meal is still a good deal at the Colonel's. And by the investment firm of E.F. Hutton and Company Incorporated. When E.F. Hutton talks, people listen. And right now we are listening to the Trojan Marching Band. And very shortly we're going to be going to Dallas for an update on the Texas-Oklahoma game. Right now, it's Take It Back. Trojan Marching Band, as Southern Cal is spelled out on the far sideline in the card section. Right now we're going to be going to the Cotton Bowl in Dallas, Texas for an update on that Texas-Oklahoma game. We're going to be going to our colleague Al Michaels, who has been covering the game, and of course we'll be back here for the rest of the USC-Alabama game. But right now, let's go to Texas and the Cotton Bowl and Al Michaels. Yeah. Well, I'm going to kind of leave it up to you, but I think that we ought to lead off with Penn State. That seems to be the most interest in the East. Okay, let's do Michigan over Michigan State. I think that maybe that Nebraska-Kansas State score, is it still 17-9? In the fourth quarter. Penn State was 16-9, wasn't that the final? No, and then I think we ought to do the baseball. Okay. Then I'm going to cue the USC campus, and you'll give me a count to that, right? Jerry, was it here that you wanted me to mention that on the scoreboard show that Al Michaels will have a further update on the Texas-Oklahoma game? Okay, I won't even make any mention of it then.
You know, for years we burned in this symbol, the fire hat of Fireman's Fund. But here's an even more important symbol to burn in. It belongs to the people who sell our insurance, the independent agents. Each represents several companies, so they work for you to get the best policy and price. Naturally, we hope your agent picks Fireman's Fund. But make sure you pick an agent with this sign, and you won't get burned. In the yellow pages, Fireman's Fund Insurance Companies.
All right, it sounds like quite a game going on in the Cotton Bowl, and we have quite a tussle going on here in the Coliseum in Los Angeles, with SC leading Alabama by the score of 3-0 in a game that's just as exciting as the score would indicate. Let's take a quick check now on some of the other top games going on around the country. These are finals. Penn State defeated Utah State, but not easily today, 16-7. Michigan over Michigan State, 24-14, but the Wolverines were behind in that ball game at one point, 7-0. In the fourth quarter, Nebraska now 20-9 over Kansas State. And in the baseball playoff score, the New York Yankees have defeated Kansas City by the score of 6-4. So it's all tied at 2 apiece in that one. And of course, the National League playoff game will be coming up tonight. We'll be back in just a moment, but right now let's take a tour of the Southern California campus.
The University of Southern California was founded in 1880. The city of Los Angeles was just a little town, not yet famous even for its orange groves. Today, the city and the university are internationally famed centers of commerce and learning. USC formally welcomed its class of the century 2 days ago. These freshman students will be seniors when USC celebrates its 100th birthday 3 years from now as the oldest major independent coeducational non-sectarian university in the West. So that it can begin its second 100 years as a model of academic excellence, USC has developed a $265 million program called Toward Century 2. This imaginative program concentrates on providing society with outstanding men and women who bring responsible leadership into the professions in all major fields of endeavor. Responsibly independent, funded through private support, the University of Southern California offers many worthwhile opportunities for philanthropy for all who care about private higher education. Many student athletes distinguished in intercollegiate athletic programs sponsored by NCAA members also excelled in Olympic competition. NCAA student athletes earned 1/2 of the United States gold medals in the Montreal Olympics. Southern California swimmer John Neighbor, who won 4 gold medals and 1 silver in Montreal, credits much of his success to intercollegiate athletics.
I think the NC2A deserves credit for assisting the United States Olympic effort, and they've given every single university in this country the opportunity to support a number of athletes in this Olympic effort, as well as developing moral character in the people. Not merely athletes, but really a good moral fiber, something that this country can rely on in a couple of years. This kind of support that goes on all the time for minor sports as well cannot go unrewarded, cannot go unthanked. And this is my opportunity on behalf of all the people who were in Montreal, who are participants in NC2A sports. We all thank you, one and all, for your support.
The NCAA is proud to salute the many outstanding student athletes who participated in NCAA and Olympic competition.
All right, Keith Jackson, Ara Parsegian back here at the Coliseum in Los Angeles. Bill Fleming, of course, has been filling you in on what's been going on in other games around the country. In this ball game, it's a simple 3-0 score. And as John Robinson, the head man of the Trojans, said, from midseason on, there aren't that many surprises, so we don't have all that much scoring going. USC's only score of the game, and the only score we've had by either, was this 32-yard field goal by Frank Jordan. It came at the end of the first offensive possession by Southern California. When they started moving the ball, it looked as if they were going to be able to do what a lot of us thought they might do, and that would be run Alabama's ends and occasionally work it off in the middle. But Wayne Hamilton particularly has been outstanding at the defensive end position to the open side of the field, has done a good job, and the secondary has, and the USC passing game is nil.
Well, the entire defense of Alabama, the game plan that Bear Bryants has put together, both offensively and defensively, are really significant here in this first half. Aside from that first drive that was almost 40 yards the Trojans had down for the field goal, they've only made 43 yards in the rest of the entire first half. So show you the type of defense that Alabama's been playing. This is a real dogfight, and as I said at the top of the show, I said, hey, don't count the Bear out. He always comes up with something, and he certainly has here going against the #1 team in the country.
He's gone for a couple of gadget plays so far in the game, but I suspect he's got some more.
I'll guarantee he has more. He probably has enjoyed the success of the outside option from the full house wishbone, which has been a surprise. We didn't think at the beginning that they'd be able to run to the outside against this fast Trojan ball club, but they have executed. The lead back has been blocking well. Both quarterbacks have been executing well, and they're moving the football.
All right, let's talk a little bit about the Southern California passing game now, which has been almost totally non-productive in the first half, and particularly in that Simran has had the ball in his hands, I guess, really only one time with a decent chance to catch it.
Well, I think the ineffectiveness of the Trojan passing game is directly related to the fine job that Alabama is doing defensively. They're mixing up their coverages. They're blitzing once in a while. They're dropping off with full coverage. Their timing has been right. They have guessed right, with the exception of the one time that Hurdle went back and threw on first down, which I thought was a pretty good choice. But the percentages from scouting, apparently, the Alabama is doing a great job in guessing right on all the plays that the Trojans are calling. So that the secondary of Alabama, as well as the pass rush, has been excellent. This young Alabama defensive team, I think, has matured, and they're playing an outstanding game.
Let's talk in terms, though. We've mentioned the heat several times, where it is a little better than 80 degrees out walking them down the street here, but down on the floor of the Coliseum, it's got to be in the probably low 90s. So we've had a lot of substituting in the ball game, but the heat and the depth of the bench is going to tell us something before it's done.
Well, in the first half, the Trojans used 48 men. Alabama used 42. That tells you a little something. Normally, you'll play between 28 and 30. So they both are aware of the heat, and they know that the outcome of the game could be determined by which team is freshest at the conclusion of this contest.
So we've played a half of it. A big ball game for national image. And at the halftime, USC leads Alabama 3-0. Second half coming up.
Hey, let's see how some owners of America's oil companies live. These Texaco stockholders, plus over 2 million other Americans, invest in America's oil industry. In 6 companies alone, over half are women. Almost half are retired. 12 million more invest through organizations like mutual funds. Who owns America's oil companies? Over 14 million Americans trusting in companies like Texaco. We're working to keep that trust.
I'm Jim McKay for the digital Tough Enough to Be a Timex, Timex Marathon. We strapped it to Otis Sistrom to prove how tough it is. Timex Marathon shows the time all the time, without pushing a button. Built solid to keep running, and just look at the kind of punishment it can take. Timex Marathon, the digital Tough Enough for Timex.
And Otis Sistrom.
I like my chicken finger looking good.
The Colonel's secret ingredient is his herbs and spices, and mine is my smile.
But the people are always pleasant. I guess they know to serve them a good product.
I think it's great. If it's not good, I won't sell it.
Always good.
I love it. It's just good chicken.
I like my chicken finger looking good.
Feels like my tummy's just asking for some Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Good chicken, Colonel. Thank you.
We have a chance for a quick word with Coach Paul Bear Bryant of Alabama. Coach, you must be very, very proud of your defensive unit.
Well, I'm proud of the entire team. They're trying as hard as they can. I think
We hurt ourselves with our kicking game in the first half. We got the penalty on Ozzie Newsome long run, and we got the field goal block. We hung in there real well. We felt like before the game that if we could stay close at the half, we'd beat them in the second half. And that's what we think we can do.
Okay, Coach. All right, back to you, Keith.
All right, Bill. There's a couple of Trojans of the future, huh? A 3-0 ball game with Southern California on top and Alabama ready to kick it off now. It'll be Roger Chapman hitting it, and deep for USC, Dwight Ford and Rod Connors. Connors, number 17. First time we've called his name. The referee, and I could correct that, Dave Kamansky, not Paul. List of officials I was given, Paul Kamansky, but it is Dave, and I should have known that. Kick is deep into the end zone. Rod Connors will put it down. Southern California will get it first down at the 20. Now let's go back to Dallas, Texas, and now Michael. Al, thank you very much. Southern California comes up to the line of scrimmage, first down at the 20 with Hurdle, Tutupu, and White lined up behind him. They send Cal Sweeney in motion. And Hurdle turns and gives to Charles White, the tailback, and Alabama nails him after 2-yard pickup with Rich Wingo, number 36, leading the tacklers. The Southern California offense lines up this way with the backfield consisting of Hurdle at quarterback, White at tailback, Tutupu fullback, Sweeney at flanker, Simron the wide receiver. Up front, it's Munoz, Howell, Bethel, Buddy, Schumacher, and Gay. It is second down. 8 yards to go from just outside the 22 of Southern California. Hurdle to throw on second and long. Looking and throws short. Pass is tapped in the air and caught by William Gay, the tight end. He's a 6'6", 225-pounder, and a penalty flag thrown in the stack. So let's get some definition from Dave Kamansky on the penalty. And we got a couple of flags down. It's against Southern California. Levy indicated personal foul, didn't he?
Yeah, well, it looked like it came late there, just as he was being tackled. Interestingly, the William Gay, who was the tight end, of course, has only caught 5 passes in the first 4 football games, and he's primarily a blocker and a decoy. But what Alabama is doing is that they're making the Trojans play left-handed in a sense, taking away Charles White, taking away Simron.
So it's a dead ball foul that came after the whistle had blown, and the penalty flags were thrown in there, and that could have been it right there with Charles White coming across hitting somebody. Not literally, but blocking somebody too late. Third down, and they need 15. And Hurdle gives it on a throw to the tailback, and Charles White gets a hold. And he breaks it out near the 30-yard line.
Just short of a first down, though. Great draw play.
Alabama sets up its defensive unit this way. Along the front, it's Wayne Hamilton. We've talked a lot about him. Marty Lyons, Terry Jones, the middle guard, number 59, David Hanna, the last of the Hanna boys, and Danny Collins, number 95. The linebackers are Barry Krause, 77, Rich Wingo, 36. Show you the secondary in a minute. It's now going to be 4th down and a yard, and Southern California will punt. Southern California not going to gamble that deep in its own territory, leading by only 3 points. Marty King will kick it to Ozzie Newsome. Alabama should get good field position, but this young fellow, Mr. King, it's a high snap. He's done well. This time it's a line drive knuckler, and Newsome's got some room and got some help. 44-yard punt, and Ozzie Newsome brings Alabama back to its 49-yard line, first down. Now Southern California's defensive unit will come on the field like this. Walt Underwood, number 95, Rich Demler, 92, the nose guard, Myron Lapka, the tackle, the linebackers, Matthews, Johnson, Cobb, and Ed Gutierrez. First down, Alabama at their own 49. Jeff Rutledge opens at quarterback, keeps it. And Jeff gets it down to the Southern California 42-yard line. That's a gain of about 9 yards. The secondary for Southern California lines up and looks like this, with Ricky Odom playing at a cornerback, number 33. Carter Hartwig had a fine first half at the other corner. So did Dennis Thurman, the free safety, and Willie Crawford, number 30, the roverback. So here sits Alabama on 2nd down and 1 at the USC 42. Just starting the 3rd quarter of play. Johnny Davis, there's your first down, and a penalty flag goes into the heap.
Jimmy Davis carries for the first down. Penalty marker.
I thought I saw an indication of a face mask there.
Another 15 then, if it is. That'll put them down there in good field position.
Alabama had been inside the 15 on one occasion in the first half and came away empty. And here's the 15-yard mark off against Southern California as we have another look.
Let's see if we can see what happens here. There it is right there. It looks like 96. Myron Lapka reaches out here inadvertently. And you can see he has John Davis's face mask. Good call.
80 yards in penalties against Southern California, 30 yards in penalties for Alabama. The Tide has the ball, first down at the Trojan 24. Long count, probably inaudible. Davis is open. He's at the 15. He falls down. Almost got completely over the man, and he had nothing but green grass in the corner in front of him.
He came out clean.
Alabama setting up for this drive offensively this way with Jeff Rutledge at quarterback. Tony Nathan, Donnie Faust, and Johnny Davis in the wishbone, and Ozzie Newsome, the wide receiver. The Tide with a first down just inside the Southern California 12-yard line. The big guys up front, Sadler, Green, Stevenson, Carter, Bunch, and Neal. First down just inside the 12 of USC. Alabama on the march starting the second half. Jeff Rutledge says to Dave Kamansky, "My troops can't hear me."
Well, that's the noise I'm familiar with. That's the one I was talking about in the pregame show. It can be noisy here.
What they have done in this Coliseum of some 100,000 seats is they have moved the field down into the closed in away from the peristyle and put stands across what used to be the neighborhood of the 25, 35-yard line. And so they've really made it a smaller stadium of 71,500 capacity. And Rutledge is not going to have any part of it. And he's going right now into the closed end of the stadium, which is well populated with highly enthusiastic USC partisans.
Not only that, but the distance from the goal line or the end zone line to the fans is a relatively short span. And of course, all the noise is amplified as a result of that. They're not sitting clear back. They're up close to the field.
The officials will not force Alabama to go until they have a reasonable chance of getting the play off. The crowd starts to roar again now, and probably John Ramsey, the PA announcer, will be asked to inform the crowd to cooperate with us, please. Well, and somewhere down the road, it'll come to the point where Dave Kamansky might have to consider a flag.
Well, what's happening, I think, Keith, is that Rutledge is trying to call an audible at the line of scrimmage. He does not want to waste it down, and the referee might instruct him to pre-call a play. I don't know. We'll have to wait to see here. If you pre-call a play, you won't blow the snap count, but if you're trying to audibilize, you can waste it down, make an error that could be a fumble and a turnover that could be very costly.
First down just inside the Southern California 12. The crowd's roaring again. Rutledge pulls the trigger. Outside it comes. And it's Eichner getting inside the 10. Down to the 5 for a 7-yard pickup, and Dennis Thurman knocked him out of bounds.
Well executed in the pressure situation. The option play, Rutledge just turns to his left, fakes the ball to Davis, comes on down the line, is forced to pitch, makes a beautiful pitch to the left. Eichner comes to the corner and picks up 5 yards before he's knocked out of bounds.
He's gained 32 yards on 7 carries. It's second down, 3 yards to go, 3.5 from the 5 of USC. Rutledge goes to the wide side. He hands it off to Johnny Davis, the fullback, and Davis over the right side behind Bunch and Fighter. Gets it to the 3-yard line. He'll be just a little bit short of his first down.
Well, it's a tough call right here. You need the first down. They can get a first down inside the 1, and if they miss it, they may have to go for the field goal.
Since the first quarter of play, Alabama has been dominant offensively in that they went off 9 first downs to only 1 for Southern California. Third and a yard and a half for the first down. And again, Rutledge comes off the ball and turns to the referee, Dave Kamansky. Southern California this season in the previous 4 games had not been scored on in the first half, and they kept that string going today.
Well, Coach Bryant, as he was interviewed at halftime, commented that he felt that the ball game was theirs in the second half, or at least he felt that way. And I think this is what you got to sell your ball club to begin with. You got to make them believe that. And certainly the Tide is playing just exactly that way, like they believe that the second half is theirs. They've driven down the field and they're in good position.
All right, let's set up the backfield as we see some changes being made for Alabama. Time is called for the moment. Score still 3-0.
Now that looks like a very interesting situation. My broker's really enthusiastic about it. What does your broker say?
Well, my broker is E.F. Hutton, and E.F. Hutton says,
when E.F. Hutton talks, people listen.
Hey, Schlitz wants you to have a ball. Pass the word, pass the word.
Hey, now's the time to pick up plenty of Schlitz.
Pass the word, pass the word, pass the word.
Because the Schlitz football offer is here. Look for this display at participating stores and save up to $5 on an official Wilson football. Come on.
Pick up Schlitz and have a ball. Pass the word, pass the word, pass the Schlitz.
Beginning this Tuesday night at 8 Eastern Time, all the color and excitement of the 1977 World Series on ABC.
An Alabama partisan anticipating success here on third down, a yard and a half for a first down. The football is sitting at the 3 exactly. They've got to go inside the 2 for the first down. Third down with 2 fullbacks, and they break the bone and line up strong right and give it to the second man. And the dive for the first down. Lapka anchored the defensive front along with Matthews and Kenlon for Southern California. And it's going to be 4th down, Alabama. They did not get the first down. 4th down and about a foot for the Crimson Tide.
They're going for it.
Johnny Davis at fullback. In this instance, Davis is the deep back out of the I. It is Davis. It is touchdown, Alabama. On 4th down, and a foot to go for a first down from the 2-yard line. Johnny Davis bangs it in behind Bob Kreider, Rick Neal, and Jim Bunch.
And they blew him out of there on it, too. There was no question about him getting into the end zone.
Here's the extra point try. Chapman's kick. It is good. With 9 minutes and 52 seconds to play in the third quarter, Alabama takes the lead 7-3.
I'm Johnny Rutherford. You know, only Xerox offers you 3 portable copiers with these features. This one makes clean, crisp, regular-sized copies. This one makes regular-sized copies and large copies of large documents. This one makes regular-sized copies and large copies and small copies of large documents. These Xerox copiers, they're terrific. But you know why I like them? Because they're on wheels.
Hey, I know I need life insurance, but I don't want to be cornered by a salesman.
You won't feel cornered at Allstate because there's a difference in the Allstate approach to life insurance. When you come to us, you're in control. If you don't like what you hear, you can walk away.
Sean is missing.
Sean?
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 Your beneficiary?
Oh, thanks a lot.
When it takes being different to be better, we'll do it. That's a promise.
I am in good hands with Allstate.
An executive talks about college.
The people who have gone to college tend to be better in-depth thinkers. It's worth it.
Dwight Ford and Rod Connors are deep as Alabama goes 51 yards to take a 7-3 lead. And now ready to kick it off for Alabama is Roger Chapman. He hits it, and he kicks it deep. There'll be no return. He kicks it beyond the playing field. USC will have it first down at the 20, trailing 7-3. Here's Bill.
All right, and now the nation's premier kicker of field goals, Russell Erxleben, has just boomed one 57 yards for Texas, and Texas is leading Oklahoma 13-6. Incidentally, because of contractual agreements with the NCAA, we're not able to return to the Texas-Oklahoma game during this USC-Alabama contest. However, on our post-game scoreboard show, we will have the complete highlights and the update on that game. Okay, Keith.
Erxleben, 64 and 57. Wow. Charles White has it for Southern California. And he takes a hard hit from Rich Wingo, who has played a lot of football defensively for Alabama today.
It was a good open field tackle. White had a little leverage in the left corner there, and Wingo came across and made a good hit on him.
The football is sitting out near the 23-yard line, where it'll be second down. Let's call it 8 yards to go for Southern California. At the end of the game, the Chevrolet offensive and defensive players of the game, with the respective schools getting a $1,000 scholarship from Chevrolet for their respective universities. Here comes Dwight Ford. And Ford cannot get away, and we've got a penalty flag thrown in the stack at the 25-yard line. So let's find out what that's about. Alabama applauding it. Might be a holding call coming here against Southern California.
This is the third play. Let's watch Wayne Hamilton, number 94 on this play. He's playing as a linebacker here. He wipes off right to the flow, pinches White back to the inside. He has no chance to get to the outside, and you can see that there was an additional penalty on the play. We're trying to figure out what it is right now.
I'll tell you this, if you were suspect of Alabama's play at defensive end, I think that has been washed away today.
I'll guarantee you they're playing a Super Bowl game. Ellen, this is the third penalty against the Trojans. This is only into not even 6 minutes into the third period. And there's been two 15-yarders, and there's another half the distance to the goal line penalty, and that's really hurting them.
Dave Kaminsky defining holding against USC. Alabama with 46 offensive plays in this ball game to 31 for the Trojans. And Rob Hurdle rolls to throw. He throws it back across the field to Randy Simron, and it is incomplete. Covering is Ricky Tucker, a freshman out of Florence, Alabama, and he's mad because he didn't intercept it.
He almost did. Let's take a look at it here. Simron comes down, breaks to the inside. Ricky Tucker jumped right on him coming across here. You'll see him coming into the picture here as Simron breaks to the inside sharply. Here comes Tucker, a freshman, number 18, almost picks that ball up. Hit him right in the chest.
So it brings up third down and 19 for Southern California from its 11-yard line. Hurdle looking, throws, and Simron's got one. And he's got it out around the 33-yard line for a first down, and there's a penalty flag on the field again, thrown by the head linesman, I believe it was, across the way. Simron making the catch. Let's see if the penalty is going to nullify it. No, it is a defensive interference by Alabama. So Randy Simron now has caught at least one pass in 29 consecutive games at USC.
As you see, Simron fakes to the inside, weaves to the outside, and it's a great throw by Hurdle. And a little change of pace there because they've been running Simron to the inside, and he finally broke to the outside, and he got the first down. Big play for him.
Now here comes the big interceptor for Alabama onto the field. Dewey Mitchell is out there, number 61. He made a great play in the first half to intercept the Hurdle pass. But the Trojans have it first down at the 33, getting off the hook. 9 minutes to go in the third quarter. Hurdle gives it to the lead man out of the I formation, the fullback to Tupu, and there just isn't anything there. It's Rich Wingo. And Barry Krause, the linebackers, just slammed the door. Scores out of the eastern part of the country. Games that have already been completed. And the Alabama defense continues to star in this football game.
Looks like Hurdle's going to have to go to the air if they expect to move the ball with any consistency. They're not able to move the Alabama team defensively from or run against them.
Second down, a little less than 10 yards to go for the Trojans. Back goes Hurdle to throw. He throws for Simron. Randy's got it. He's got a first down at the Alabama 43-yard line. Caught it in front of Mike Tucker.
You know that this is an explosive Southern California team that's got a lot of skills. Here's Simron coming down the field, driving up. Now you don't know whether he's going to go in or out because he's done both. He breaks to the inside. Hurdle's got the ball to him. Thrown behind him slightly. Good catch by Simron.
Possibility he might have taken it all the way if that ball had been a yard in front of him.
That's right, Keith.
First down, USC, Alabama 43. Movement by the Southern California offensive front. That'll cost the Trojans another 5. Looked like Hurdle probably audibleized at the line of scrimmage. That's 97 yards in penalties.
It's 45 just in this quarter. Tell you, you can't make mistakes like that against a good football team. Now you come up with first down and 15 yards to go.
Duke beating South Carolina today 25-21, and Clemson. The Old Tigers are doing some clawing and stretching. First down and 15 now from the 48 of USC. Of Alabama with USC. That's Dwight Ford, and he almost wiggled out of there. Number 95, Danny Collins, was the man that brought him down. He got away for just a second. LSU coming back to beat Vanderbilt in the Southeastern Conference. Georgia getting a one-pointer over Ole Miss. And Georgia Tech jumped on Tennessee 24-8.
It's a big turnaround from last year. I think Tennessee beat them about 40-0 last year.
Right. Second down, 11. Southern California from the Alabama 44. Hurdle's pass is away. Simron is there. First down, Trojans. Alabama 24. Mike Tucker made the stop, but Mike Kramer, the free safety, was blitzing on Hurdle, and he almost got him.
He almost got him is right. They went into a blitz situation. Simron just came driving down the field. He's getting too much cushion from Mike Tucker, and is able to turn inside. Hurdle put it right on the numbers, but he almost got knocked down by the blitzing Rover.
Simron now 3 catches, 68 yards. Hurdle in passing, 6 of 11, 85 yards. First down, Southern California. Alabama 24. Dwight Ford. And Ford takes it inside the 20 to the 18 before Rich Wingo makes the stop for Alabama. Iowa beating Minnesota 18-6, and after Minnesota had grabbed a couple of wins over the schools from Washington and the University of Washington and UCLA, I think that might be a surprise in the Big Ten.
Sure is. Rich Wingo is playing quite a football game out there.
Hoosiers got another win today. Ball is near the 18 of Alabama. Second down, 6. Into the middle goes the fullback to Tupu, and he tumbles ahead to the 15, just inside the 15. They'll need a yard for the first down.
Good defensive reactions by Alabama.
Iowa State beat Missouri today, 7-0. Happy day for Earl Bruce, SMU and Baylor, and Louisville won over Tulsa 33-0 in their ball game. At the 15 of Alabama, third down, 1 USC. Stanford leading UCLA in the second quarter, 16-7. Without Benjamin at quarterback. Here's the power sweep out of the tailback, and Charles White. I don't believe he made his first down. Number 64 and number 94 involved in the play, and Hamilton was the first man to make the hit. It is fourth down.
Dwayne Hamilton's having quite an afternoon. Here you see him at the defensive end. Gives a little ground, comes wiping off to the left. Watch him put the shot right here that knocks Charles White back and keeps him from making the first down.
Dwight Ford is now at tailback. Tupu, the fullback. Fourth down and a yard at the Alabama 15. It is Ford. He's got a first down.
See where he marks the ball.
Don McNeil, number 28, who's still sitting down there. He came up out of the secondary to make the hit. They will measure. While they're stretching the chains, let's visit with Bill.
All right, Keith, and we have a thriller here, but I'll tell you this, in that Oklahoma-Texas game, Oklahoma failed on the Texas 5-yard line with a 4th and 1. Can you believe that? Oh. So Texas is still on top. 7:24 to go in the ball game. 13-6.
Oh, I'll tell you this, they're not going to be any cobwebs left in the Cotton Bowl.
Just barely made the first down there too. We got a couple of games going.
Just barely inside the 14-yard line, Southern California. First down at the Alabama 14. 4:45 to play third quarter. Alabama leads 7-3. Hurdle to Ford. Howell pulls out number 66 to lead the blocking, but Barry Krause, number 77, comes across to make the play. Might be a face mask on Krause. So the penalty flags now are haunting both teams. Krause came across, penetrated. Howell, the pulling guard, missed him on the block. Krause got behind him and reached in to grab.
It is here. Let's see who grabs him here. Gets leverage on the corner. This is a big penalty here. I guess that's Barry Krause. He does. I guess he gets his mask right there. Yep.
So the penalty puts the football now at the Alabama 7-yard line. First down. They need 3 for a first down, 7 for the touchdown. It's Ford to the 5. Right near the 5, where it'll be second down and a yard for the first down.
This is really unusual. I don't think I've seen in one quarter 3 face mask penalties in a game that I can recall.
Well, you're into a situation when you get down here where you just literally got to grab whatever you can get a hold of.
Well, but that penalty was a crucial one.
Washington State, look at that. California ranked 10th in the nation, trailing the Cougars third quarter, 10-0. It is second down, the better part of 2 yards for the first down for Southern Cal at the Alabama 6. And it's to Tupu, and he's got the first down. The Trojans will have it first and goal to go right about the Alabama 2-yard line, with John Morrow, number 84, getting a piece of the action defensively. Mosse to Tupu. John Robinson says trying to tackle him is like wrestling with a fire hydrant. A mean one.
I'll tell you this, he had Brad Buddy and John Schumacher up there doing a job for him too. They blew him right out of there.
Let's call it the 2. First down, goal to go, Southern California at the Alabama 2. Nope. Maybe to the 1. That's all Ford could find. Dwight Ford trying to follow the fullback into the hole assigned to him on that play. Got a yard. Second down, goal to go. Incredibly, Oklahoma failed 4th and 1 at the Texas 5 in the Cotton Bowl. As Texas leads it 13-6. Tupu.
No, didn't make it.
Alabama steps him at the goal line. It'll be third down and goal to go.
Great goal line defense by Alabama. They're really making them go the hard way.
Ball is no more than a foot away, as you can see.
Trojans have had trouble scoring inside that 10-yard line, and they're repeating that performance here on this drive.
Third and goal, a foot away. Ford. No, sir. Sensational play by Mike Tucker, coming out of the halfback position defensively.
What a play. Super defensive play.
Tucker 21, watch him.
Comes right straight up the field. There's nobody to block him, and Ford is knocked down for a loss on the play, and a great goal line defense by the Crimson Tide.
Back at the 6-yard line. At the 6. They'll go for 3. Frank Jordan, 23-yard field goal try. It's up. It's good. And Southern California settles for a field goal on a magnificent goal line defense by Alabama.
This is the Poland Micro 25, a powerful lightweight chainsaw that costs less than you'd guess.
$172. $139.95.
$153. It has automatic chain oiling, a super quiet muffler, and features you'll find only on more expensive saws. Poland's price, $79.95.
$79.95?
The Poland Micro 25. Poland quality at a price that's less than you'd guess.
Son, could I use your car tonight?
Sure. Don't forget to put some gas in it.
Every family should have at least one diehard. The maintenance-free diehard has extra power to start your car when most batteries won't. Sold only at Sears.
Alabama continues to lead, but now by 1, 7-6, with Tony Nathan and Major Ogilvie deep for the white-shirted Tide. Magnificent goal line defense. And USC settles for the field goal as Rob Kerr will kick off. Nathan to the 28-yard line. So a good hard-headed return by Tony Nathan as he shook off 2 tackles to get it out in decent field position. Here's Bill Fleming.
All right, the nation's leading collegiate passer, Gifford Nielsen, has just passed for his 14th touchdown pass of the season. 18 yards to Roger Gorley, and BYU leading Oregon State 7-0 in the second quarter. Washington State's Jackie Thompson getting off to a good start, 10-0 over California. That's somewhat of a surprise. And in the UCLA-Stanford game, Rick Bayshore started at quarterback for Stanford. Theodis Brown has come into the ballgame for UCLA.
First down, Alabama at the 28-yard line. Jeff Rutledge at quarterback. Johnny Davis in at fullback, and Johnny hits it straight ahead to about the 31 for 3 yards. I'm going to be hard-pressed, Era, to find the individual defensively to give the defensive award to. The way Alabama's playing ball, that whole crowd deserves it, don't they?
Give them all. I tell you, they've played a super defensive football game.
Second down and 7 at the 31 for the Tide. Rutledge, upfield he goes.
There's a mask.
There's a face mask. Reaching in is Clay Matthews trying to get a hold of Jeff Rutledge, and he inadvertently got the face mask. And the flags are flying. The laundry's on the field, and that must be what, the 4th or 5th face mask?
It's fourth, I think, and that was such an obvious one. He reached out. You know, that first down, and of course this penalty that'll go along with it will give the defense, the Alabama defense, some breathing room. I'll tell you what, that defense has played and been on the field so long, they need a little spell, and that's a big first down for them.
The march goes all the way into Southern California country to inside the 48 of USC.
It's incredible. 4 mask coverage. Here Rutledge just keeps the ball. And that's such an obvious one there, and that's very dangerous. It really is. The rule is in there for a specific purpose.
110 yards in penalties now for Southern California. 110. First down, Alabama. Rutledge to Davis. And the big piano player just hammers it inside the 45, close to the 43. Here's Bill.
All right, the final is now in. It is Texas over Oklahoma, 13-6 in the Cotton Bowl. Earl Campbell rolled for 124 yards today. The Texas fullback really coming into his own.
Oh, it'll be hook 'em horns in Texas tonight.
Sure
Mercy.
will. They've been waiting a long time for that one.
Biggest win Freddie Akers ever have in his career. I don't care what happens from here on. Second down and 7. Outside, Nathan. The Tide is rolling. First down, Alabama at the Southern Cal 32.
Southern Cal is having difficulty stopping that outside option. The execution on the part of Alabama is outstanding, and the Trojans cannot stop that outside option.
Rich Demler, the middle guard, nose guard for USC, and Dennis Thurman, the tackle. The tip-off on it for the nose guard, as we've run out of time, was that there just simply was nobody to block him, so he pursued the play. So the third quarter is done here in Los Angeles. Alabama 7, SC 6.
You know, Fireman's Fund says, for the best insurance, look for our fire hat. But there's another symbol just as important. It belongs to the man who sells our insurance, the independent agent. Because he represents not just us, but many fine companies, to get you the very best deal around. So even if you forget our symbol, remember this one of the man who serves you first, your independent agent. He's got the one symbol it pays you to know. In the yellow pages, Fireman's Fund Insurance Companies.
See what's new today.
Last year, Chevrolet introduced a new kind of six-passenger car. And like hot dogs and apple pie, America is eating it up. Now in its second year, the new Chevrolet Caprice continues to give you
More headroom.
More rear seat leg room.
More trunk room.
More manageability in city traffic.
More mileage.
the beautiful new Chevrolet Caprice. Now that's more like it.
Saturday, families Christy McNichols and Soaps Richard Mulligan sail on the Love Boat.
Alabama has the football. First down at the Southern California 32-yard line, leading 7-6 in what has been a defensive struggle in Los Angeles. First down for the Crimson Tide with Jeff Rutledge pulling the trigger. And it's Rutledge turning inside to the 30. He had Lou Eichner trailing, and a fumble, and Southern California comes up with the ball. Carter Hartwig reached into the stack and came up with the ball.
No, they called it dead, it looks like.
Did they? Now it's going to remain in Alabama's possession. So suddenly Southern California exulting. Now the defense has got to come back and shut my mouth.
I'll tell you, there's no one Trojan supporter that's a little nervous right now that played here. John the Duker Wayne, I'll guarantee you this, he's a little nervous.
Alabama keeps the ball. The whistle had stopped the play before the ball squirted loose. Progress of the ball had been stopped at the 30. And so it is second down 8. Alabama at the USC 30, and that gets a reaction from the home crowd. Rutledge. And it is Ogilvie. Ogilvie takes it down. The ball came loose again, I do believe. There's a penalty flag as well.
There's a flag.
Willie Crawford standing out there holding the ball. Personal foul call against Southern California. Alabama keeps the ball, and the Trojans are going to get tabbed with another penalty.
I'll tell you, the Alabama halfbacks are really blocking beautifully on that option play. Here's Underwood, number 95, the defensive tackle. Watch the blocking that he receives. The offensive line really fires out. That's Jim Bunch, number 63. Looks like he might have had a little hand out there. Looks like somebody's putting a little lock on his ankle there if you watch it. Looks like the umpire didn't see that one. No wonder he goes down.
The referee, Dave Kamansky, has called his colleagues involved in the play, and they are discussing it here so that they come up with the ultimate decision that is correct. Dennis Thurman, the defensive captain out there for Southern California. Jeff Rutledge and Dave Sadler, offensive captains for Alabama. Now Ozzie Newsome has come over to join in the conversation, and it is Newsome who indicates, as you can see, that the penalty will be accepted and it will go against Southern California.
Well, if you take a look at the statistics, they're pretty even. 194 yards, total yards for Alabama, 202, but the dominance of the running game and the possession of it. You can see that USC has been able to do it on their passing game. Let's see, there's another foul. Another foul?
It's all the way down to the 9-yard line. And that'll come up to a total of 118 yards and penalties against Southern California in the ball game today. 118 yards.
How many in this quarter? There's been 68 yards. 68 in this quarter. Those are the kind of mistakes that you just can't afford.
I don't imagine she'll have any trouble getting the troops to stand up to let her walk down the aisle. It's first down. They need a yard and a half for another first down from the 9, and Johnny Davis is inside the 5 before he will be toppled. It is first and goal to go, Alabama at the Southern California 4-yard line.
Well, he's come up with that tough yardage when it's been needed. You know, he's about 227 pounds, and he's a pretty good load going in there.
Donnie Faust, 44, checks in. He's 210. He replaces Lou Eichner, who weighs about 175.
They got old Davis nicknamed right, I'll tell you that. They call him the Bull.
Major Ogilvy. No, it is Tony Nathan back in at halfback. So it's Nathan, Faust, and Davis behind Rutledge. First and goal at the 4. Nathan to the 1. Matthews, Gutierrez, Crawford stacking it for Southern California. It is second and goal to go from the 1, and this is why Nathan trying to get up over the top of the stack.
Gets good blocking up front. They drive the Trojans back off the line, and Nathan really puts a move on. And almost a face mask there again by Dennis Johnson. Reached in there and grabbed Nathan's mask, but let go of it in time before there was a call.
Alabama leading 7-6. The ball is exactly on the 1-yard line. The Tide having dominated the second and third quarters of the ball game, and we're now in the 4th with 13:48 to play in the game, and time is up.
Let yourself go to Pizza Hut. Let yourself go to Pizza Hut. When your usual lunch is nothing but a bore. When let's have a pizza sounds too good to ignore. When you're tasting that cheese and you're hearing that crunch. When you want to let loose, you'll love us for lunch. Let yourself go to Pizza Hut. Let yourself go to Pizza Hut.
Hey, boss! The Texaco guy's at it again! What? Now what? It's an antifreeze wiper refill special.
1 gallon of Texaco antifreeze coolant plus 2 wiper blade refills.
Only incredible. A pair of refills alone can cost up to $5. Yeah. How can he do it?
Because I'm a good guy.
Texaco antifreeze and wiper refills at a special low price at your participating Texaco Good Guys.
Beginning this Tuesday night at 8 Eastern Time, all the color and excitement of the 1977 World Series on ABC.
Here we go, second down and goal for Alabama at the Southern California 1-yard line. Only 13:48 to play in the game. And Alabama leading 7-6. A touchdown and an extra point makes it 14-6 here, and makes it a tough 13 minutes for Southern California, the nation's top-ranked team. It is Nathan. He's got a touchdown for Alabama. Are they going to go for 2? They just might.
Well,
course.
He went on over the right side where, I'll tell you, one of the things in this ball game that has been a little bit surprising to me, and Jim Bunch, number 63, has flat whipped Walt Underwood so far up front today, and it was right there that Nathan went.
That right side is blocked very well. Kreider and Bunch.
USC is charged with a team timeout with 13:45 to go in this ball game, and Alabama waiting for the extra point try. Bill Fleming now.
I've got Al Michaels on the other end of the line, Keith. Al, the ball game has just ended there, and I imagine things are delirious as far as the Longhorn fans are concerned.
Well, people believe in Texas right now, Phil. They were 3-0, they hadn't beaten anybody coming into today's game, really. Everybody said the schedule was pretty soft, but they beat Oklahoma today, and they not only beat Oklahoma, they did it after losing their first and second string quarterbacks in the first quarter.
Right, we understand that Randy McEachin had to come in.
He came in, he did a fine job. The big man also for Texas had to be Russell Erxlaven, who kicked field goals of 64 and 58 yards today, and had punts of 68 and 70 yards today. We'll have highlights of the game on our Prudential College scoreboard, Bill.
All right, very, very good, and I imagine McEachin then is the star after Al mentioned that the first two quarterbacks of Texas were injured. McEachin came in a non-letter winner and carried him to victory. Okay, thanks, Al. We'll be waiting for your report on the post-game show.
Now the decision has been made. Alabama will kick for the extra point. Roger Chapman. Looks good. It is good. With 13 minutes and 45 seconds to play in the game, Alabama builds its lead to 14-6 in what could be a major upset.
Goodyear announces Tiempo. Now you can eliminate winter tire changeover. Tiempo, a steel-belted radial for all weather conditions.
You can drive a Goodyear Tiempo through an Arizona summer, through a winter in Wisconsin, and a springtime rain in Georgia, an autumn in Vermont. You can drive a Goodyear Tiempo whenever, wherever you want.
Tiempo with a protective sidewall scuff bar from $39. Keep it on season after season.
Want to cut your fuel bills? Whether your house is new or old, put insulation everywhere. It can save you money. Your attic, you need a 6 to 12-inch blanket of pink Owens Corning fiberglass. Walls, full insulation. Unheated crawl space, insulate below the floor. Live where it's cold, insulate basement walls. See your Owens Corning fiberglass supplier to learn all about insulation. Insulation is cheaper than oil.
Pacific 8 Conference schools collected 5 NCAA championships last year, including 2 titles claimed by USC. The Trojans captured their 4th consecutive national swimming title and then snatched the NCAA volleyball championship from crosstown rival UCLA.
There are the startling facts of the matter. Alabama 14-6 over Southern California with 13:45 to go. The kickoff, it goes to Dwight Ford, steps back a yard in the end zone, and here he comes. And he gets it to the 20. So next Saturday, we can now tell you that the Texas Longhorns, who came up with that 13-6 victory over Oklahoma today, will meet the undefeated Razorbacks of Arkansas in Fayetteville. Check your local listings for the game time. Both of them undefeated. It's reminiscent of the old shootout game back in 1969. Well, I imagine the redhead Frank Boyles is going to have a busy week, huh?
You bet you will.
Southern California in trouble. The nation's top-ranked team trailing by 8 points from the 19-yard line. Mosi Tutupu fights for a yard, no more. Hamilton, 94. Curtis McGriff, 96. The Alabama defense has been the star of this ball game, collectively.
Well, the possession time is almost even. First downs, though, the possession of the game, because I think it's about 19-9, I believe, first downs. And therein lies the difference.
From the 20, second down and 9 for Southern California. Hurdle to throw. Blocked. Intercepted by Alabama. The ball was blocked and then intercepted. Blocked by Curtis McGriff and intercepted by Wayne Hamilton. Hamilton, who had taken a blow from Charles White, it was blocked back in his direction, and would you believe it, the big defensive end caught the ball before it hit the ground.
What a play.
And so here's Alabama, first and goal to go at the Southern California 8-yard line, and 63,140 people sitting here in the Coliseum are stunned.
Well, you bet they are, because the Trojans were heavily favored. We're seeing quite an upset.
To Nathan, penalty flags are down. The Alabama offensive front might have been a little quick getting off the mark. It's been a penalty-filled ball game. There have been an enormous amount of mistakes. But over all of this shines the Alabama defense that made this position possible. Now let's see what happens. There you see the man on the right side of the Alabama line moving before the ball was snapped.
Just beat the count by a fraction of a second. 5-yard penalty, illegal motion.
Carter Hartwig, who's played a strong game for USC at cornerback, out. Looked like he hurt his ankle. Larry Brazil is in, and Brazil had a block on a field goal try earlier in the game. So he's back in. Back him up 5. First down and goal to go from the team of USC. Rutledge outside to Nathan. He scores. Super blocking from Lou Eichner and from Ozzie Newsome. And Nathan took it in. Eichner sawed down Dennis Thurman. Nathan made his cut, and he was home. And it's 20-6 Alabama.
And they've done it all afternoon. Both halfbacks, 4 halfbacks actually. Rutledge comes down the line, deals the ball off perfectly on the option. You can see Nathan field it, gets a lead block again. Good blocking downfield. Ozzie Newsome throws to ward off a defender. And of course, they're on the scoreboard again.
The kick by Chapman. It is good. With 12 minutes and 47 seconds to play in the game, Alabama leads USC 21-6.
See what's new today.
Introducing the 3rd generation Monte Carlo. The 3rd generation of a highly original yet affordable car that, like its owners, stands apart from the ordinary, apart from the crowd. There is no other car quite like the 3rd generation Monte Carlo. So drive it. And put a little distance between yourself and the crowd.
Here's to good friends. Tonight is kind of special. The beer will...
Happy birthday, you old codger.
Well, it's certainly not a tie. So tonight...
Hey, so long, bro.
I wanted to make sure we got something good to drink at this party. When you want the taste of a truly great beer, tonight, let it be Lowenbrow.
Here's the good friends. Let it be Lowenbrow.
Tony Nathan, there isn't a happier soul in the world right now. He just scored the touchdown to put Alabama out in front 21-6. He has 73 yards the kickoff. It goes to Dwight Ford. Ford has been the most effective of the Southern California trio of tailbacks in this ball game. He brings that kickoff return to the 24. And now Southern California has 12 minutes and 40 seconds to work with as they trail by 15 points. A crowd of 63,140 on hand for the game, though it's my understanding more than 71,000 tickets were sold. Southern California, with the longest winning streak in college football at 15 games, in serious trouble now, having it snapped. Sweeney is in motion. He hasn't seen the ball all day. Rob Hurdle gives it to Charles White. And White can't go anywhere. He has done almost nothing today since the first quarter. And David Hanna and Ricky Gilliland and Dewey Mitchell just swarm him.
That defense is just swarming them. They have no chance. They can't even get back to the line of scrimmage.
The loss is back to about the 20-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 14. Picture coming from the Goodyear Blimp, Columbia. On 2nd and 14, Hurdle fumble. Trojans recover it. Never came away with it from the snap.
I think Rob Hurdle tried to get away too rapidly, and the ball, either that or the ball came a little late because there was no exchange there. And they were fortunate to recover the ball.
I want to see how quick they get up this time to let it come back to her seat.
Old Ben keeps running, too. It's down to 11.5 minutes. Of course, there's a lot of time in the game.
All right. 3rd down. The ball is back near the 18. 3rd down and about 16 for Southern California. Hurdle back to throw. Protection this time. Over the middle it goes. Simrin can't hang on. Up at the 37. Led him just a fraction too much.
And he would have had a 1st down on the play if he'd been able to hang on to the ball. It was a tough catch. It was low, but it was enough for the 1st down after the loss of 5 yards on that first play.
Right through his hands as he was trying to dive for it. And it brings up 4th down. Southern California now will have to kick it away. You see the man best known perhaps as Gomer looking on. Marty King will hit it. Ozzie Newsome will receive it. 11:15 to play in the game. King's kick, knuckleball. Newsome waves and then lets it go as the ball is kicked away from him. Bounces straight up in the air. The Trojans down it. The ball is dead. Alabama 43-yard line. 1st down tied. 38-yard punt. Here's Bill Fleming.
All right, Keith, a couple of updates on our scoreboard right now. In the 4th quarter, Colorado over Oklahoma State 22-13, and BYU is now leading Oregon State 13-0 with Gifford Nielsen, the top collegiate passer, hitting 14 for 21 in the first half and 2 touchdowns. That's 14 and 15 for him, but he was also intercepted once. Okay, Keith.
Boy, he's a thrower, though. I'll tell you that. Fine young man. Travis goes wide for Alabama. 1st down. They're on 43. They lead 21-6. And Stedman Shealy is in at quarterback. Keeps and comes to the 45 for 2 yards. Southern California to get back in the ball game now. They've got to have some luck with 10:50 to play.
Yeah, they need the help of Alabama now. I think a fumble, interception, which Alabama's unlikely to do. They're in the driver's seat right now.
You can see the story on the 2 tailbacks, in a sense, Charles White of USC and Tony Nathan of Alabama. But Dwight Ford, I think, actually probably has more playing time today for the Trojans than does White. It is 2nd down and 8 yards to go for the Tide. Stedman Shealy pitches it outside to Ferguson. He's stacked up at the line of scrimmage, making the tackle. Gary Cobb, Clay Matthews for Southern California.
Well, that's one of the few times they've been able to shut off the option. It's been working all day. Matthews really reacted to it that time, disregarded the fullback fake to the inside, and just went for the pitch man.
The coaching staff, Ken Donahue, Paul Crane, Sylvester Kroon, Bill Oliver, Mal Moore, Bobby Marks, Bryant Poole, Dee Powell, Jeff Rousey, Jack Rutledge, and Shorty White, all involved in what's happening here today. Ferguson streaming to the left, gets to the 46. As they brought an Alabama football team in brilliantly prepared to play.
Well, you can say that again. They are really prepared for this ball game. Emotionally, strategically, physically.
4th down coming up now as Alabama is unable to punch out a 1st down. 98-30, the yards of rushing in the 2nd half. And Lynn Kane drops back now to accept the punt from Buddy Holt. Good kick. Kane at the 7. No place to go. Downfield, number 4, Keith Pugh from Evergreen, Alabama, stops him after a 47-yard kick by Buddy Holt. Next Monday night, ABC's NFL Monday Night Football game, the Los Angeles Rams and the Chicago Bears from Soldier Field in Chicago. The Rams 2-1, the Bears 1-2. The Bears really want to muscle up and win one. They need a win in that Central Division of the NFL. The Rams, of course, being led this year by Joe Willie Namath. That's Monday night on ABC at 9 Eastern Time. The football is marked just inside the 9 of USC. 91 yards away from the Alabama goal line, and Hurdle's going to put it up. He's going down the sidelines for Cal Sweeney. He overthrows it. Fly pattern trying for the home run with the goal line at his back, and he's missed him.
If he had him, if he had been on target, he had him open. Been a big gainer.
Ricky Tucker and Don McNeil were running with Sweeney. He was double teamed coming down the sidelines, and now it's 9:29 to play in the ball game. 21-6 Alabama. Going to be a little shuffling in the old pole game come Monday and Tuesday.
You bet.
2nd and 10. Hurdle gives it to Len Kane at tailback, and Kane runs it out to the 15-yard line. Bill?
Well, all the UCLA fans will be mighty happy to hear this news that Theodis Brown has just run 75 yards for the Bruins, and the score in that game is now 19-14 in favor of Stanford. Stanford, after that run of Theodis Brown for the touchdown, had a 22-yard field goal by Ken Neighbor. Don't forget, for the post-game scoreboard show, Dave Dials and Andrea Kirby will have all the scores for you, as well as those highlights of the Cotton Bowl game.
On 3rd down and 4, Hurdle swings it out to Kane. Kane's got daylight. He's got a first down. He comes up to the 27-yard line. First time we've seen that play today.
Yeah, a quick screen out to the left, and the Alabama team dropped off into a zone and was unable to cover that flare.
Mike Hayes was flying on the play, but they dropped it off on the screen to Kane, and under the rule this year, remember, your lineman can come downfield and block on the screen. First down, Trojans at the 27. Got a long way to go yet. They're going to the air. The pass in the air, complete to Randy Simron as he is ridden hard out of bounds, but he held on. Randy only weighs around 163 pounds.
He can fly, though, I'll tell you that.
Working on Don McNeil.
Great catch.
McNeil made him pay for it.
And he was tackled inbounds here.
Going down on that left hand. I hate to see somebody do that, because I can never forget what happened to Matt Cavanaugh, who understands about ready to play.
Yeah, he's supposed to play today.
First down, SC at the 39-yard line. And Hurdle will put it up again. Yes, Sweeney open. Throws instead to the sidelines to Howard Studdard. And Studdard takes it out of bounds. Maybe another first down for Southern California, and it is. They'll have it right at the Alabama 49-yard line.
Stop the clock, too.
Studdard is the bigger of the split receivers for Southern Cal. He's a 6'4", 212-pound senior, and was in that play in place of Randy Simron. Hurdle gives the ball to Len Kane. Hamilton gets a piece of him and slows him down. And then Don McNeil comes along to put him away.
Not too bad a call, even though the clock is running again. A running play, figuring that Alabama would drop off into extensive zones and only rush 3 or 4 men. They thought they might be able to get some yardage rushing, but good reactions by the defense of Alabama kept it to about a 2-yard gain.
Clock is running at 7:40 to play in the ball game. It is 2nd down and 8 yards to go from the 47 of Alabama. Tide leading 21-6 against the nation's top-ranked team. Hurdle throws it over the middle. Simron's out there. He's got it. And Tucker wrestles him out of bounds. Ricky Tucker, a freshman, number 18, saved the touchdown, but it's another first down for Southern Cal at the Alabama 19.
Beautiful pass route by Simron. He acts like he's coming clear to the inside, breaks to the sideline, and Hurdle puts it right there. You can see why Southern California is such a dangerous offensive team, and even more so why Alabama's played an outstanding defensive game the way they've contained them up till now.
Simron, 5 catches and 104 yards for the Bears concerned. First down at the Tide 19. They send the fullback up into a flanker position now, leaving one man back, and Hurdle to throw. Pressure's on. He gets it off. It is complete to Tatupu. Mosi Tatupu to the 7, to the 5. And it's 1st and goal to go Southern California with 7:14 to play.
Good reactions by Hurdle that time. They elected to blitz him, and he got rid of the ball when it looked like he was going to lose yardage.
Huey Mitchell was the blitzing linebacker that almost got Hurdle. but Hurdle was able to get it away, and it's first and goal to go Southern Cal at the Alabama 5-yard line, and 7:05 now to play in the game.
Man-to-man coverage.
Hurdle will put it up. He throws it. It is incomplete and almost intercepted. Intended for Cal Sweeney, and number 21, Mike Tucker, got his hands on the ball instead.
I think they had a little mix-up there. Let's see whether or not. Looked to me like Sweeney was open here right on his sideline, and he threw the ball deep. You see, 24, Sweeney was wide open, and he looked like he might have he should have gone into the corner. But at any rate, I think Hurdle probably made the mistake in judgment.
6:51 to play in the ball game on the incomplete pass, and it's second down and goal to go at the 5. Texas has already defeated Oklahoma. Alabama trying to beat Southern Cal and leading 21-6. And a penalty. Too much time, Southern Cal. That's 123 yards in total penalties against the Trojans.
Oh, I'll tell you, that's a lot of penalties, and you can see the effect of them, particularly in the third quarter when they had the field position changes as a result of the face mask calls. And now here you are down at the 5-yard line, and it's tough to get into the end zone from the 10-yard line, even from the 5, let alone the 10.
Extra defensive back has gone in now. Murray Legg checks into the lineup as they take a lineman out, Curtis McGriff. Protecting against what they expect to be the pass on second and goal from the 10. Hurdle's pass is into the end zone. Touchdown! Cal Sweeney.
What a catch.
Murray Legg was blitzing. And Calvin Sweeney.
Sweeney coming across the middle. Watch him hang on to this ball when he's hit by Murray Legg right there. Wow, looked like he was going to shake it loose.
Did.
He grabs it back. He did drop it. Momentarily anyway, but he grabbed it back.
Trojans going for 2. Crowd on their feet. Hurdle rolls it. In trouble. Throws it. To 2 feet. And got the 2. What a play. Hurdle as Don McNeil almost had him down on the ground. He still threw it. He made it, and it's 21-14.
What a reaction by Hurdle. Looked like he was going to be knocked down for negative yardage.
And here comes the White Horse thundering around the stadium. Conquest echoing from across the way, and it's the first time the Southern California partisans have had a chance to cheer in quite a while. Watch the touchdown play first now as Sweeney comes across and takes a wallop, loses the ball, and then catches it again before it hits the ground. Really wallop right there by McNeil. Ball comes loose and he scoops it up.
Great reaction. There's a 2-point play. You see Hurdle's almost down. He throws the ball as he's falling. Tupu is there and takes it in for the 2-point play, and it's a big one.
And the kickoff. Nathan backs up at the goal line. Back into the stack, and he's buried. Back at the 13-yard line with 6 minutes and 41 seconds to play in the ball game. It is a 21-14 game right now.
Momentum has shifted. Alabama needs a first down. Trojans need the ball.
When Alabama has run its money plays today, they have gone behind Bunch and Fighter on the right side. Neal is the tight end, except he flexes wide to the right to the open side. Newsom is down to the left side, and the crowd is roaring, and Jeff Rutledge wants no part of it. He walks away. So the nation's #1 ranked football team still in trouble with a 15-game winning streak and trailing 21-14, but it's not as black now as it was just a few minutes ago, as the Alabama defense had literally dominated the second, third, and half of the fourth quarter.
Well, that two-point play is really something.
Rutledge gives it to the big guy, Johnny Davis, and Johnny D comes across the 15 to the 16, maybe the 17. You can see the clock running. And the time and the clock will be the ally of Alabama.
You can see all the Trojans searching for the ball. They want that ball.
Both teams with 2 timeouts remaining in the game. Call it the 17 and call it 2nd down and 7. Right between the 16 and 17 markers. Davis again. Breaks out of there. Great running by Johnny Davis. Short of the first down, but a tremendous personal effort by the big guys. Willie Crawford and Ricky Odom finally wrestled him down.
Great effort in there.
We're going to need a week to pick the offensive and defensive players for the Chevrolet Awards today. $1,000 scholarships going to the respective universities' General Scholarship Fund and the names of the players chosen. 3rd and a yard. He may have it. If he's got it, that means Alabama can chew up another minute on the clock.
You bet. That's a big first down.
Davis now 16 carries, 55 yards. Wayne Hamilton has been outstanding today for Alabama, in particular defensively. The heat was on him because everybody figured that was where USC would go, a defensive end. He turned them away. First down, tied, 24-yard line. Tony Nathan has been outstanding. They roll him down after a couple of yards.
Stop the clock, too.
Gary Cobb, 53, rode him out. Next Saturday, we're going to go back to the memories of the great shootout of '69 as the Razorbacks of Arkansas and the Longhorns of Texas, both undefeated, get together in Fayetteville. Texas today defeating Oklahoma in a stunning upset. 2nd down, 8 yards to go, Alabama, their own 26. Davis, short of the 30. It'll be 3rd, and they'll need about 5. Here they might have to consider putting it up. Important thing, keep the ball as long as you can as we come up on 4 minutes to play.
Well, you've got that threat of the two-point play that can make the difference in the game. Southern Cal, if they could get the ball back, could score and get a two-pointer and go ahead.
3rd and 5 from the 29. Davis stacked up. Alabama will have to kick it.
Plenty of time in the game.
Walt Underwood and Myron Latka stop Davis. USC in its first offensive possession. Took the ball down, came away with a field goal to lead 3-0. But in the second and third quarters, it was all Alabama. Buddy Holt's punt. High spiral. Kane comes across and looks at it. Takes an Alabama bounce. USC will get the ball just outside the 20-yard line. That's a 49-yard pressure punt. Here's Bill.
10. All right, Keith, let's take a look at the top 10. SC, of course, the issue still in doubt with 3 minutes and 8 seconds to go. Michigan won today, 24-14. Oklahoma lost. Texas, number 4, beat Oklahoma. Colorado in a victory over Oklahoma State. Ohio State won big. Nebraska won. Alabama, of course, still in doubt here. Arkansas did not play, and California is being defeated.
Thank you, Bill. First down, Southern California, just outside the 20. Might be their last chance to put something together. Trailing 21-14. Hurdle wants to throw. Swings it off to the tailback. Coming out of the backfield. And the gain is for 5. Lynn Kane has played the tailback position quite a bit here in the fourth quarter and has been effective, and he made that reception. Hurdle now 13 out of 22 for 173 yards in this ball game. Ball just short of the 25. Make it second down and 6 for the Trojans.
2 crucial first downs.
Sweeney and Hayes are the wide people to the left or inside, along with Simran. Hurdle comes in this direction. Looks. He goes the other way. Sweeney, who caught the touchdown pass, scoops that one off the grass at the 39-yard line right in front of Don McNeil for a USC first down.
Big first down. When I said 2 crucial first downs, I meant 2 crucial timeouts remain for Southern California. See if they use them judiciously.
21-19. UCLA has moved out ahead of Stanford. We'll run down all the scores and highlights with Dave Giles and Andrea Kirby on the Prudential College scoreboard right after this game. First down at the 39 for Southern California.
Blitz is on.
Hurdles pass away. Pass is complete.
Good tackle.
And Mike Hayes, 5'9", 175-pound flyer from San Diego, is caught. He's just apparently going to be a little bit short of a first down.
This little turnout. They were trying to blitz and get the Hurdle, but they couldn't get there. He winds up with a completion on the play and a first down. I guess it's just short of the first down.
Murray Legg made the saving tackle for Alabama. 1 minute and 44 seconds to play in a ball game. Second down, 1. USC being very deliberate coming out of that huddle. They have 2 timeouts remaining. Hurdle wants to put it up. Passes away to the sidelines to Simran. And Simran is spinning around to the 39. That's a first down. Now they must call time at 1:26. The clock stops as the chains are moved. And here's Simran right in front of Mike Tucker.
Tries to turn to the inside. He thought he might be able to shake a tackle and make more yardage. Gone out of bounds and stopped the clock. It's running now with 1:20.
As soon as the chain went down, the clock started. First down, USC. They're regrouped. They look poised now as Hurdle rolls to the right. He's got Simran open.
Got him.
He can't hold it. Simran was wide open. The pass was just a little bit too long, and Randy had gotten behind Don McNeil.
Fakes an out pattern and runs right by him. The ball is just on his fingertips. It was just overthrown just a tad. And instead of being a touchdown, it's an incomplete pass.
Whew, I got to take a deep breath.
What a game.
1:05 to play in the game. Second down, 10 at the Alabama 39. Hurdle goes to the near sideline, and the pass is
good defensive play.
Cal Sweeney begging, can't get it. Mike Tucker defending.
Good play by Mike Tucker. He came in and knocked the ball down. Here's Sweeney coming up the field. Hurdle rolled to the right to pull a secondary that way. He got single coverage on Sweeney. Sweeney turns right here. Tucker comes in, reaches over top and grabs a hold of the ball after it hits Sweeney. It's a good play.
Exactly 1 minute to play in the game. Alabama 21, Southern California 14. Sweeney.
What a play.
Trying to get to the sidelines, can't do it. Now, with 53 seconds to play in the ball game, it is Southern California with a first down as you watch the play again, and time is called by the Trojans.
Sweeney breaks right across the middle, and if you think that Hurdle can't throw the ball, take a look here. Right on target.
53 seconds to play in the game. 53 seconds to play in the ball game. Southern California first down at the Alabama 17-yard line. 21-14, Alabama leads. The pass. It is caught by William Gay out of bounds at the 9-yard line, and you've got 48 seconds to play.
And he's getting tremendous protection. Alabama's tried to blitz him a couple of times, and the single coverage, they haven't been able to stay with him. Here's Gay just breaking to the outside, and Hurdle putting it right there. Out of bounds, stops the clock, down to the 7-yard line. What a football game.
Got to go to the 7 for the first down. They are just inside the 10. Second down and 3, or second down and 10, however you want to look at it, with 48 seconds, and Hurdle comes left. He throws for Sweeney. What a tremendous play by Mike Tucker. Mike Tucker saved a touchdown with a fingertip.
What a reaction by Mike, and what a football game he's playing. Looked like the ball was going to be right there for the score. He made a great second effort.
I thought Sweeney was home free.
I did too for a minute, but great reactions by Tucker.
Senior out of Anniston, Alabama. Might have been a game saver. We've got 44 seconds to play. It is third down from just inside the 10. They need 3 for the first down. Hurdle throws. Penalty flag. It'll be first and goal to go, and the flag was thrown. Don McNeil made the hit on Randy Simlin before the ball got there, and it's pass interference against Alabama. Got to be.
Let's see if we can see this. Don McNeil, number 28 defensive halfback. Simon comes up the field. I can't quite see him here in the picture. Can't see it as well.
Hamilton tipped the ball. He had no chance to catch it. And then McNeil not being able to.
Here's another angle.
Watch Hamilton go up
right here.
He tips it. No way Simron's going to catch the ball anyway.
I don't know. That's a close one there.
But Hamilton, Wayne Hamilton, the man, and tipped the ball. And McNeil got called for the hit, and it's first and goal to go, Southern California at the Alabama 1-yard line. 39 seconds to play in the game. Lynn Kane, touchdown, Southern California.
Now what are you going to do for a two-pointer?
I don't know. I think I might pray a lot.
What a game. Woo!
Joe Shipp led the blocking, and Kane took it in. And the Alabama defensive unit that had been so brilliant through the second and third and half of the fourth quarter, beginning to wear down perhaps just a little bit here under the anxious efforts of Southern California. But what a football game we've seen. 35 seconds to play. Alabama still leads 21-20. You know Southern Cal is going to go for 2.
Well, the outcome of the game rests on one play. If Southern Cal converts this two-point play, I think they'll win it with 35 seconds left to go. If Alabama holds, they're the winner. We've had so many of these on college football this fall, reminiscent of the Oklahoma-Ohio State game.
Hurdle now 18 out of 30 for 244 yards. The defensive player in the ball game has been chosen. The vote is going on now for the offensive player. The defensive player of today's ball game, Wayne Hamilton, the great defensive end. He's just been sensational for Alabama all day. The University of Alabama to get a $1,000 scholarship for its general scholarship fund. Compliments of Chevrolet. The offensive player, I think, has to be Rob Hurdle, the Southern California quarterback.
Well, he's brought him back to this position.
University of Southern California getting a $1,000 scholarship award from Chevrolet for its general scholarship fund. But there have been so many young men who have played so well on both sides this afternoon. You can see number 77, Barry Krause, walking around, exhorting his teammates. Southern Cal, obviously, going for 2. It's a right-handed football team, and the open side of the field is to the right side.
They've moved it to the left hash mark. They've got 3 receivers to that side.
Hurdle rolling. Throws it up for grabs. Intercepted by Krause. Alabama stops the try for 2 points, and it was Wayne Hamilton that came in to get Rob Hurdle. So the young men who have been named the outstanding players of the game are involved in the final gasp of it, as Hamilton fought off the blocking and came in to drag Rob Hurdle down and deny him the chance to throw the ball.
Don't forget the onside kick. 35 seconds. You know what happened in the Oklahoma-Ohio State game.
But what a day for 94.
Oh, what a day he's had. Woo. There's Hurl rolling out to the right, and Hamilton coming in, shedding his blocker. He did not have enough time to throw it. He unloads the ball, which is the right thing to do because he's got nothing to lose on an interception. And we're going to be looking now at a probable onside kick. There's another point.
Also point out, Era, that Calvin Sweeney was wide open in the end zone, too, and Hamilton denied Hurdle a chance to find him.
And the way he was throwing it, I'm sure he would have found him.
There he comes up out of the end zone right there, number 24 coming into the picture.
That's that same dude that intercepted the ball in the Liberty Bowl and went about 49, 50 yards for the first touchdown.
That's exactly right. The Alabama cheerleaders exulting. 21-20, the Tide trying to stun the nation's top-ranked team with 35 seconds to go. Here's the kick. They spin it around. The ball bouncing around, and it is covered by Alabama. So the Crimson Tide gets the football as Rick Neal covered it up front with all the backs and the receivers and the ends and all those people with good hands up to control the ball, and they do.
What a football game. Woo! And what an upset by the Alabama Tide.
And next Saturday, Texas beating Oklahoma today, undefeated, goes against Arkansas, undefeated, at Fayetteville, with memories of '69 beginning to ring through the Ozarks.
Robinson there on the sideline probably feels he started throwing the ball a little too late.
Alabama puts it in motion. Southern California will have to spend its final timeout to stop the clock. Clock is still running at 25-24. They have not called time. They're going to let it run out, I guess.
Yeah, not going to stop it.
And so it is done. The Alabama Crimson Tide upset the Southern California Trojans by a score of 21-20 in one of the remarkable football games of an already remarkable college football season. Alabama 21, Southern California 20. And this has been a presentation of ABC Sports, recognized around the world as the leader in sports television.